bro. Are we live? Are we live? Oh, I need that, bro. There we go. There we go. Let me make sure we are live. Tight vibe. Get my rankings in order. Download CSV. Yes. Save that. Cool. Active. Go to draft. Yes, sir. Make sure we're live right quick. See what's popping. Your channel. Live. Maybe I should have like a bunch of different ones in. What are all these schedule drafts? Okay, so we are live. Let me see if I can check it out from a different perspective. Pimo, young Pimo. Oh, nice. Yo. Live. Okay, so we're cool. All right, 103. I like that. I will gladly take Ja'Marr Chase. Gladly. Let's go to redraft. All right, hit the YouTube. Wait, I have that open. Okay, I got you. Let's listen to my boy for a little bit. Take that out. I'm on the clock. Give me Ja'Marr Chase by a mile. It's my 102. Shout out Bijan, but it's my 102, man. As of right now. As of right now, man. As of right now, I have Ja'Marr at my 102. I don't know. I think about H-Han, Tua checkdowns, and then H-Han just torching the league, pretty much. Is that going to be the same thing? Probably, right? No. JSN at the 107. So eliminator. Yes.
Back in the video, so we're going over my 5 must-draft running backs this season. These are not necessarily only the highest upside running backs or only the safest running backs in drafts, but in my opinion, they're the best combination of upside and risk given the ADP. If you were going to highlight, like physically highlight or circle a few running backs in the rankings that you are willing to reach for, these are the ones I would do that for. I want to start off with 2 honorable mentions. I really liked starting, especially obviously you want to do it a late first round pick, but in the late first round, I have loved starting off with James Cook and Ashton Jeanty in that late first round. This season, at times, I've gotten Cook and Jeanty. It was pick 11. I did it recently, pick 11 and 14. Camp reports have all indicated an
Please
increased
upload thumbnail
receiving
manually.
role for James Cook this year. That's pretty exciting because that was really the
Missing
only
the
thing
upload.
holding him back.
Okay.
He was phenomenal on the ground. Obviously, last year he was the league's leading rusher. He's capable of scoring 15. Theoretically, if you get lucky and score 20 touchdowns this season.
Actually,
it's always been the receptions as to why he can't push for that, like, top 3 or number 1 overall season. If that's going to happen, even if it's just a couple more design targets, a couple more screen passes, that unlocks a crazy high ceiling. And to get that in the late first round, that's pretty incredible. And then with Jeanty, I really just think people are underrating how good he is and how good he actually was last season, just because the offense around him was so unbelievably bad. They had no other playmakers because Brock Bowers got injured and was kind of playing injured at times. The offensive line was terrible. The offensive scheme wasn't that great. That all improves this year. Better offensive line. Bowers is healthy. Great scheme. I just think both these 2 are extraordinarily talented players.
Cook and Jeanty?
Honestly, at this point,
Yes.
if we're getting the receiving role from James Cook, they both have profiles that should typically cost you a top 7 pick. So to be able to get both of them, late first round, early
Bowers,
second round,
AJ Brown.
it's a
Oh,
really,
AJ goes.
really
That's
high
tough.
ceiling start
I'll
to the
definitely
draft.
take Bowers
The
here.
only reason that I'm not going to technically include them in this video is 1, to talk about more players, but 2, because everyone in the first round is a great pick. It's not like you can look at round 1 and be like, oh, that's a bad pick, and that's a bad pick, and that's a bad pick. No, they all have great ceilings. They're all very
That's facts,
safe.
that's facts.
So that's why I also go at the end of round 1, because there's also great picks to go forward. So realistically, we call every one of the top 13 or 14 players this season a must-draft player. So wanted to talk about some guys a little bit later in draft. So we will start off not really that much later, but we'll start off with talking about what I think is the best round 2 pick if Jeanty does not fall into round 2. So if Jeanty does go at the tail end of round 1 or at the 1-2 turn, I think the best pick
Show him on the Clizzy.
round 2 is Chase Brown.
Jeremiah Love. Where do I go?
Somehow on ESPN, he was at the
I'm going to go Jeremiah Love.
turn, but on average,
3rd round, Jeremiah Love.
the 2nd round. Last season, he was right back.
I'm scoop. 100%. I'm scoop. Every time.
Started and finished.
Every time.
Much worse offensive line for the Bengals last year than they will have this season. That's just like a theme. Like every single year, we sit here and talk about how amazing all these skill players are, but how terrible the offensive line is in Cincy, and how that's not going to hold them back from being good. They're good every single season, but it holds them back from being a team that is just destroying guys and a team that's like leading the league in touchdowns per game. The offensive line is fixed. I mean, it's not like top 10, but it's league average, and that's really all we've been asking for. All we want is just a little bit of time for Joe Burrow and this Canadian offense that leads the league in touchdowns. So fixing the offensive line and getting it decent, that unlocks a very high ceiling. It's very exciting for us in fantasy. The other exciting part about Chase Brown is just the certainty. We want not only for these guys in rounds 1, 2, 3 to have this high end ceiling, but we want to know with a very high level of certainty the role is secure. Behind Chase Brown, it's a 31-year-old Samaje Perine and Taj Brooks, who has 17 career touches and is not good. Joe Burrow even came out and said recently Chase Brown is a featured running back. There is no reason to think that Joe Burrow is lying to us. Obviously, he is not. So we got a featured running back on a team that very well could lead the league in touchdowns per game, who showed us last season that he was a top 5 running back when
Chase
Joe
Brown,
Burrow
I agree.
himself, and he's capable of having that role. And he's there in like the mid to late 2nd round. I mean, Chase Brown has a round 1 round 2. Like literally anytime. If it says round 2 on the board, you can take Chase Brown. Truly, the only knock that people have is that he's inefficient, which I understand, but that's why he doesn't go as a top 3 pick. Like, seriously, if he was like an efficient running back, where you're like, he's going to average 5.5 yards per carry, explosive runs every game, these receptions are highly efficient, he would be going as like the 3rd overall player in drafts, not the middle to the late 2nd round at times. But the volume is king in fantasy, and especially volume on elite offenses. We know the team's going to be great. We know the offensive line is better, and we know this guy's going to be peppered with targets and get plenty of work on the ground and be highly involved in red zone. I do not care if he's only going to have 4.4 or 4.5 yards per carry. That was behind a bad offensive line. He could average 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. People are not going to be complaining about the touches.
Hella receivers, goddamn.
Touches every week, red zone usage, receiving usage, and he's averaging 4.6, 4.7 on the ground. The upside.
Do I get one of the two? Oh, wow, another receiver. Holy shit.
Scadabu's running back 19 by composite ADP right now.
Quinshon Judkins, not one that I want. There's 2 more slots.
Scadabu is a must-draft player under a very specific build.
Give me one of them.
I love this season. Starting off, running back.
Nice.
There is a drop-off, in my opinion.
I get one of them.
Rounds 1 and 2 running backs into round 3. Round
I get one of them.
The level of certainty, the level of upside, in my opinion, drops off. And so I want 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds, unless I'm getting a superstar wide receiver, Brock Bowers. Basically, I want to go running back.
Nice.
Unless that's the case. If you don't, though.
Easy Cam Scadabu. As he's talking about Cam Scadabu. Crazy.
Not just a makeshift storage unit. My neighbor's looks like a luxury gym.
And you take a Bowers, you take a Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, these guys that are so locked in, so talented at other positions, and you leave rounds 1 and 2 with 1 running back, or, my goodness, if you leave the 3rd round with only 1 running back, then I think Cam Scadabu is the single best pick you can make.
I'm on the clock.
Round 4.
Bucky, Mike Evans.
Definitely, if you go 3 running backs in a row. But if you go running back, I would lean a little bit more towards Loveland in round 4.
Oh, shit. Well, I auto-drafted, but I'll take Mike Evans.
Going in round 4, so again, under a specific build where you do not have 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds.
Almost auto-drafted, but...
Then Scadabu is someone that I really want to be taking. He was a running back 7 in adjusted points per game last season.
Give me Mike Evans.
Very quickly became a starter. I mean, he had, remember late camp, he had that hamstring injury, and you were like, so excited about, but rookie's missing time in camp, entering the season with a hamstring injury. You never know if there's going to be recurrence with that, a setback. You never know if that missed time really delays a breakout. It did not. He had like 1 game where they kind of eased him back into the workload, and then boom, 2nd game back, immediately a featured running back. I mean, he was getting so many touches every single week. He was used in the receiving game. He was used as a goal line, and I think that is the appeal with Scadabu. No one's being used to him at the goal line, used over him at the goal line. Like, the man had 7 touchdowns in 6.25 healthy games last season. There's no way they can look at him, the type of player that he is, a literal bowling ball out there, and be like, you know what? Take him off the field. We got to get Tyron Tracy Jr. It's not going to happen whenever they get close. That ball is going to Scadabu. So we know the touchdown floor is really high. Even if the offensive line's not like that amazing, even if this offense isn't going to be top 7, probably top 10 in points per game, we know that the touchdowns will be there for him. And that touchdown certainty is something that we're going to kind of lean into more this season. You see me talk about him. You're going to see me talk about in a second David Montgomery. You guys know I love Mike Evans. These players who we know are going to score a lot of touchdowns. It's becoming more important to identify those players as fantasy scoring has tilted, or fantasy scoring has tilted lower scoring, I guess. Fantasy football in general has fewer points. Because football is changing a little bit. We're seeing fewer drives per game, fewer plays per game. Obviously, if there's less volume, less yardage, you're going to see fewer fantasy points, because teams in the NFL are shifting their mindset to understanding that, like, if we're getting amazing field position, right? So often drives are starting at the 35-yard line now, whereas a couple of years ago, they started at the 20. At the 35, you need, like, 1 good first down, and all of a sudden you're into field goal range. Like, obviously you can't get just the 10 yards, but you don't need to get that many yards to be in field goal range. teams understand this, and so they're like, okay, we got to play conservatively. We got to make sure we don't turn it over. We have to make sure that we're not taking too many shot plays, too many high risk plays, because there's fewer possessions for us every game, and it's so easy to score points at a baseline. Maybe not score a touchdown, but so easy to score points. The teams are being more conservative, and when they're doing that, we're decreasing volume, which is going to make touchdowns a higher percentage of your score in your lineup. And so when that's occurring, locking up running backs in round 4, they're capable of scoring 15 touchdowns this season. That unlocks, a really high-end ceiling, but it's a much better move to target those players.
Parker.
But it's not only good to target those players, it's great to target them when they also come with receptions. He had 22 receptions through 6.25 healthy games last season. That didn't come out of nowhere. Receptions were a huge part of his game in college, so it's not like some random fluke where he had one spiked game because they were trailing by a bunch and he had a bunch of dump offs. In college, he was an incredible receiving back. And
Bunch of dump offs.
If he's actually going to be used as a goal line back and receiving back, it doesn't even matter if he averages 3.5 yards per carry. He's got what it takes to be a high-end producer. In fantasy, that's what we saw. That's what we will see going forward. Again,
Ramondre. It's actually not bad.
It honestly doesn't matter what position.
BTJ, Marvin Harrison. I like Jordan Tyson. Burrow, I guess.
The wide receivers are amazing picks. So I want to be targeting.
Damn, I have a lot of Ramondre, huh?
Under the
Oh, it's 9%. I'm gonna take Ramondre.
running back.
Just in case Travion doesn't work out.
This season, I want to be locking up more than one. And so if you go for a Bowers, we're not taking Loughlin. If you go for a Jefferson, well, maybe we're not taking a Ladd or a Buka or something like that in round 4. Opt for Scadaboo if you don't go running back.
BTJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any player at any position this season.
Jordan Tyson was hoping he'd be there.
Pretty darn unlikely that he ends up as a top 3 running back. It could happen. I mean, maybe if the Texans' defense remains incredible, maybe they end up as the number 1 defense in the NFL. They're constantly providing turnovers.
Man. Harvey?
Rushing workload, but I think the path
Like Harvey a lot.
probably the touchdowns.
The guy took Burrow.
So many turnovers, so many short fields.
Chuba?
Score touchdowns at a high rate, and he's featured in the red zone. That's the path to top 3.
Marvin Harrison
I don't
Jr.
think it matters that much that maybe he can't be a
I
top
don't know.
3 running
Taking
back.
RJ Harvey,
Maybe
man.
top 7 is more in this range of outcomes.
Locking up my running backs in the eliminator,
Super
man.
confident that every single week when we
Gotta lock up RBs. We got Jamar Chase and Evans to hold it down.
Every time we say we're gonna say,
I think we'll still get some good values here at the 8-9 turn.
really have to go over what the matchup is.
Let me
what
peek,
the
let me
matchup
peek.
looks like, that he's going to be so
Yeah, definitely some
consistent
good,
on this offense, especially in the red zone, that every week we're saying you just have to play David Montgomery. He's always going to project as a top 20 running back. The 2 things I hear people argue with against David Montgomery are that the report that he and Marks are going to split the workload, and the fact that
Maybe I snagged
Montgomery
Diggs.
isn't that good of a running back. Now, I'm not trying to attack you if you believe one of these 2 things. I just couldn't disagree more. The point that Monty hasn't been good is crazy to me. He scored a touchdown in 60% of his career games. He's handled 220 plus touches in 6 of 7 seasons in the NFL. He's only missed 11 games in 7 years. He's averaged 14.2 touches per game while playing alongside Jahmyr Gibbs. That last one is the one that matters most to me. Most coaches don't just overload players with touches unless they're good. And Dan Campbell especially is not going to give you the football unless you're very good, right?
All right.
He's perfectly willing to condense the volume of the offense to 4 or 5 players if he only has 4 or 5 players worthy of giving touches to. And we all know that Jahmyr Gibbs is a superstar. Gibbs only missed 2 games in his career. So the fact that Monty has still handled 14.2 touches per game and averaged 11 touchdowns per season, playing alongside Jahmyr Gibbs, tells us he's good. Because if he wasn't, Dan Campbell is not splitting the workload with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. And this is going to sound a little bit wild coming from me especially, but I think sometimes the fantasy community falls in love with analytics just a little bit too much and forgets the fact that volume is king, and volume tells us something about how coaches view players, especially at running back. it is a choice to trot a running back onto the field and give them a touch. And if teams are doing over and over again, multiple coaching staffs on multiple teams willing to give a player 220 plus touches, that is potentially the most or second most on your entire team, willing to give someone that many touches, we know that they are good at football and they will continue to get touches on other teams unless they get too old. David Montgomery is not too old. And especially when that team trades for them and then gives them a generous new contract after that trade, we know that they looked at this and said, we want him to fill the Joe Mixon role, because Joe Mixon is apparently not going to be around anymore. I don't know what's happened with that situation, but he's done with. Woody Marks is just not that great.
Oh, Michael Wilson would have been nice.
He can't handle medical work.
Unfortunate.
He would lift off the field every time he got like 15
Kyle Lemon
touches
is
in a
hurt.
game.
Misses practice
He was not
again.
good.
Nah, I'm not fucking with that. I'm not gonna lie.
The certainty, right? When they get to the goal line.
Rashad White to lock in my RBs.
He's a scat back. He's someone
No, I need another wide receiver here.
like a change of pace role with pass catching abilities, but he's not someone that you give 25 touches to and goal line usage to. Like, he's just not going to perform that way. That was never in his prospect profile. It was not what he showed last season. It's not who he is. He's fine, but he's fine as okay.
Alec Pierce.
Take him off the field. Go get some receptions.
I like the AP bet.
Be good in that way. But Monty's going to get
Especially in best ball.
He's going to score plenty of touchdowns. He's going to have.
I think he could be disappointing in managed, but in
easily
best
project
ball,
as a top 20 running back every single week, and to have that extreme stability, that extreme level of certainty, you can just chuck him into running back 2 every single week and be totally fine with production.
Maybe.
You don't always have to lean up.
I don't have a quarterback. We have Brock Purdy here. Dart.
We want upside, but I'm just saying he doesn't have the upside to be top.
Mahomes.
I will take a top 7 season from running back in my, 5th
Do I
round
go
pick.
Pittman?
When it comes with a level of certainty, he's just not going to disappoint at this ADP. Plenty of rounds. You can shoot for the moon. Just take the win. It is an absolute win.
There goes Diggs, like I said.
Take the win. Next up. Next 2. We are going to shoot for the moon. So if we're
All right.
doing
Rashad White
wins,
or Brock Purdy.
go for it. First up, Jonathan Brooks. I know half of you just rolled your eyes or closed out of the video. Listen, I get it. Been a brutal 2 years for Brooks.
I'm gonna go Brock.
2 torn ACLs. The thing is,
Get at least one
this
QB
is
here.
around 8 right now. It is very difficult.
14,
to
8,
find
11,
ceiling
10, nice.
at running
6,
back.
8,
Your
13,
chances
nice.
of hitting on a league winner at the running back position are extremely low. The vast majority of the time, when you draft a running back this late, they're either going to be a complete bust or someone that you occasionally throw into the flex spot when you desperately need them. Ryan Heath over at Fantasy Points put together a really good research article kind of going over league winners, and he pointed to the data saying round 7 through 11, basically a dead zone. It's not the classic quote-unquote running back dead zone we always talk about. Those are 2 different things. I'm saying rounds 7 through 11, pretty much never produce a league-winning running back. You're getting those early, or you're getting those very late when there's a starting running back that gets injured and you have the backup. Those are basically the 2 situations that happen much more often than a round 7 through 11 running back breaking out and being a league winner. So
Damn, I drafted RJ Harvey in the 7th.
running back you draft in this range, and you're going to have to draft running backs in this range. Any running back you pick has a pretty low chance of actually being a difference maker in fantasy. So why on earth would you not lean into the upside of someone like Jonathan Brooks, who by all accounts is having a fantastic camp, and at this point looks poised to open the season as the lead running back on the Panthers? We have multiple years of Chuba as the lead back, and he has proven time and time again that he is extremely replaceable, has no explosiveness, literally the least explosive running back in the entire NFL last season. He does not make people miss. He's inefficient in the receiving game. Like, that has happened for years now. It's not going to all of a sudden change this season. Brooks is a massive step up from Chuba when healthy, and at the very least, even if he doesn't become the starting running back, he will be the one that is used in the receiving game. That is still upside we want in fantasy. But truly, the appeal in this range is that no one has a great chance of hitting. No one has a super high floor. Many of these players are purely early down grinders, purely pass catching backs with no chance of becoming anything more than that. And so, and then you wait a little bit longer, and you're basically all into like the handcuff range. So it's not like a little bit later we're like, oh look, the upside's back. It's like, yeah, if the starter gets injured, because most weeks are going to have 0, 1, or 2 fantasy points, right? That's the range that you're generally in right now. We're a little bit before the pure handcuff, but we're in a range where guys have to find roles, and it's really not going to change all that much. So I don't care that maybe he has a much better chance of getting injured than the running backs. This is not round 3. This is round 8. You're probably already at 3 starting running backs. This is a bench running back for you. Shoot for the moon. Take someone who actually has
Shoot for the moon.
Speaking of upside, we're going to go even later in the draft for my second most confident take this season. Keaton Mitchell will be a league-winning running back if he can stay healthy. And the fact that I can say that at pick 150 or 189 on Sleeper, take him
On Sleeper.
Baker. And if the ADP on your site is 150, perfectly comfortable taking
Jacoby
him.
Myers.
I have him at 104 right now in half PPR, so well ahead of ADP.
Do need wide receiver points.
The fact that
Let's
I
go
can say
Jacoby.
the only outcome I can envision where he's not a league-winning running back this season.
Lock in Jacoby here.
150. That means you have to be getting that every single time. On Underdog right now, I think he goes at 135, 136. Every time it hits 120, I am taking him. Like I want him to be on all my teams.
Kittle goes next.
Player.
Fuck.
Similar sentiment to Brooks. The reasoning behind the breaking out is completely different, but the sentiment behind
Baker
and
Mayfield.
Brooks is really
He goes.
who cares about floor at running back this late, especially when we say this late at Keaton Mitchell's price tag. You know, when you're
Damn,
drafting
Higgins.
someone among the handcuffs, now completely in that range, where all these running backs are getting 0, 1, 2, 3 fantasy points every week if the starter doesn't go down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
those guys
Higgins.
impact your team in any way. So, like, draft Keaton. Like, guys, he's going to be a league winner.
Malik Willis.
I
do like Malik Willis, but I need some receivers. I like Jaden Higgins a lot. And I can get CJ Stroud hopefully next round.
Like, how do they spend their money in free agency? How do they not only talk about players, what are the actions that they do? Mike McDaniel comes over after leaving, kind of being forced out of Dolphins, right? He goes from being one of like the hottest head coaches in the NFL, right? Everyone wants a piece. Mike McDaniel wants to learn this system. To Tua falls apart, the offense can't stay healthy, the offensive line stinks, and all of a sudden he's like cast away out of Miami. Do you think he's gonna go in somewhere and like play it safe and be like, oh well, you know, I don't really want to put together the offense that I want? No, he's going out there and being like, I'm back, I'm good, I know how to call an offense, I know how to design an offense. You guys are just like underrating how the impact he can have to this team. So when he comes over and he says, I want Keaton Mitchell and I want Alec Nichols, okay? He wants those two things. When on top of that, they go out and they say, I want David Njoku on an incentive-based contract, and I want to give a massive $25 million deal, $17 million guaranteed to Charlie Koloff, who is a great blocking tight end who will also use the receiving game, and honestly,
That actually his contract? Oh, shit.
Right now. When he goes out and he does that, he says, give me a fullback, give me all these tight ends, give me an explosive running back. He's telling us what he's doing. He wants to have a super elite run game that is going to have a top 5 efficiency passing game, because not only does he have the skill players to do that, finally, and the offensive line to do that now, but because the run game is going to be so good, and his scheme is so good at capitalizing off of play action, that he wants to build a heavy personnel line, he wants to have that explosive running back element, and he wants to build the passing game on top. That's how Mike McDaniel wants to run this offense, and it tells us he wants this to be the new Mostert and Achane. And I really think he's going to utilize Keaton Mitchell in a similar way that he did when Achane broke out. Not necessarily like the last 2 seasons when he was featuring Achane, he was getting a million targets, used as this huge featured running back. That's not what I envisioned for Keaton Mitchell. But remember when Achane broke out in that rookie season when he was only getting like 11 touches per game, but he was posting like running back 1 numbers every week, and you're like, how do I bench this kid? He just keeps going off every single game. He's scoring touchdowns. He's creating explosives. Like, it's 11 touches, but I think I have to start him every single week. That's the production I'm expecting from Keaton Mitchell this season, because the comparisons between Keaton Mitchell and Achane are a lot closer than you think. Achane is 1 inch taller, 10 pounds heavier, so the BMI is basically identical. Achane broke out 7.8 yards per carry as a rookie. Keaton broke out 8.4 yards per carry as a rookie. At the combine, Achane 4.32 yards per carry, 4.32 second 40. Keaton Mitchell 4.37 second 40. Last season, Keaton Mitchell was actually the single most explosive running back in the entire NFL on 59 rush attempts. 59 total rush attempts. He hit 20 plus miles per hour, a league-leading 7 times. Think about how insane that stat is. We have running backs getting 350 plus touches, and yet none of them hit 20 plus miles per hour. Not more often in terms of field carries, more times in total than Keaton Mitchell, who only had 59 total rush attempts. I think people's biggest complaint is they're like, yeah, but he can't stay healthy. He can't possibly handle the workload. He did it in college. Like, literally, Achane had a season with 154 touches, and he maxed out at 232. And then Keaton goes out there. He had
Damn, these QBs are going.
and maxed out at 228. So
Lordy.
pretty similar workloads in college. Keaton was the more explosive running back last season. We've
Say
seen
likely.
him handle a workload
Interesting.
in college. We've seen them have similar builds, and Mike McDaniel goes out after having Achane, goes out and now wants Keaton Mitchell. Like,
2 and
I just
2.
think
Prescott, Burrow,
there's
Babe.
so much
D Jones
talent.
goes. I mean, are you
The role's gonna be awesome.
are you fucking
Production's
serious?
Gonna be there. And just look at the contract to a Keaton.
Honestly,
Look at what he's done historically in the NFL, you don't get a 2-year,
Gonna go likely.
$9.5 million deal with $5 million guaranteed. That does not happen.
gonna go Isaiah Likely, man.
Given the production that Keaton Mitchell has,
And
hasn't had
then
that
hopefully one of
much production
these
in the NFL, it's because Mike
QBs
McDaniel
fall to
looks
me.
at him and says, I know that he can. I see a role for him. I want him on my team. That was way more
Okay.
than most other, or maybe any other team, was going to give him in free agency. So I just don't see how all of this can happen, and that we'll go out there in week 1.
Definitely stop
and
at
we can get every
2
single
tight
touch.
ends for
Right.
sure.
That's just not what is going to happen.
Let's tack on Cam Ward. I need
This again is my second most confident take this season. Number 1 is a David
Millen,
Montgomery
Trey
is
Tucker.
the safest pick to make across all positions. And second,
So Cam
Keaton
Ward.
Mitchell, if he stays healthy, is going to be
I didn't even
league
peep the
winner.
bye,
I'm
but
taking
usually it does this when I have a
100%
bye
of the
conflict.
time when we hit pick 130 in a redraft league, but truly,
Purdy,
as a
Cam
PPR,
Ward.
just stay a round or 2 ahead of
I like Cam Ward this year.
every time. So
He's really a dog,
those are some of my must-draft players this year.
and
I
he
love
cares a lot
the
about
website,
football. So
fantasyfootballadvice.com. You can also read time. So those are some of my must-draft players this year. A much larger list is on the website, fantasyfootballadvice.com. You can also see my rankings in every single format over there, which you can customize to fit your exact league settings, and even have them change as you do your draft. So as you draft players to your team, the rankings will adjust based on draft results from millions of drafts over the last decade. It's a feature that no other company in the industry has a tool like. No one can match that level of adjustment to your rankings in real time, so you're going to gain a massive edge by drafting with my rankings over anyone else's in the industry. All right, please do like if you are still here. Please subscribe.
respect my goat, man. Respect my goat.
Friday, go
What do you say?
for my must-draft wide receivers.
Friday must draft wide receivers. Okay. Just updated my wide receiver rankings. Oh, that boy Flock about to go live. Okay, I like that. We gonna tune in. Maybe we can get in one of his mock drafts or something. Let's see.
I'm looking at a marketplace, an AI tool, without writing a single line of code.
See if we can get one of
What
those.
normal real money draft that we do every single night with people from our live stream, you get the prize. And we are also going to be getting in a mock draft that I am starting right this second on flogfantasy.com. We're going to be picking here 11. But I do want to talk about my updated wide receiver rankings. I'm sure y'all have already seen this on the site if you have the season pass. But just in case you haven't, I'll fill you in because it's pretty big news. Stephon Diggs is going to Washington. So this has been the rumor, and also if y'all been in these live streams over the past few weeks, Y'all know I was drafting a lot of Stephon Diggs in underdog best ball drafts. With this in mind, right, we looked at prediction markets and they had the Commanders as the most likely outcome and the most likely team for Stephon Diggs this year. So it's not the biggest surprise in the world. It's not like this completely came out of left field like LeBron to the Sixers. But we have to go through and we have to update our rankings.
Yo,
now.
fuck LeBron on God, man. Hey.
It's like, so there
You really-
are
you know what I'm saying? You really-
players that should be impacted by this. I'm gonna be
That shit hurt, man.
honest, Diggs
That shit
isn't
hurt.
That good of a wide receiver. You need to be updating the running back rankings on Washington.
Hey, it's not fuck LeBron, but it's fuck LeBron, man. I'm sorry, bro. But
Really
you go, you my goat,
guys that
but
follow
you
this
really
league.
hurt me, man.
But the players
Heating-
that I
Heating
think
7.
we need to update the rankings for are going to be one, Stephon Diggs, obviously. Two, Jaden Daniels. I do think that this is a notch in the cap of the feather of whatever
Stribling,
the
huh?
season is of Daniels. This is a good thing for him. Antonio
Nah, I want
Williams,
Boston.
if you were potentially drafting
Give me
Antonio
Denzel
Williams,
Boston, man. Give me the
as well as
kid.
the tight end, I know a lot of people
I don't want
with
Stribling.
Chig.
I want
I think
Denzel
you can go
Boston.
ahead and lower him as well. So there are those 4 players that I think their
Still have only
rankings
4
impacted.
backs.
We'll go through and talk about each
Not
of those
great.
4. But first, we are
They're solid, though.
making a selection at 11 as well as
I think we're gonna go
at
2.
Now for me, again, I generally
How many
like
back picks
to
I
go
got?
running back
4 more
with the zone.
picks.
That way I can scoop wide
2,
receiver
8,
values later.
5.
Ashton Jitty goes off at 11. This actually
3,
is probably going to take
3, 5, 8, 2.
right. If this was a 2 wide receiver, 1 flex
Stribling goes,
you know,
cool.
I'll probably tell you to take James Cook, but this is a double
Charbonnet.
flex format, and in a double flex, I'll be a little more likely to take Jefferson. So we're gonna go
Going
Jefferson
Geno.
and Amari and Hampton. That's
Locking in the
my
G Bear.
here, so a very well balanced start that we don't have to stress too much with.
Get a 5th running back, and
Let's go
then
ahead and let's look
2
at
more
the
receivers.
rankings
Yep.
now with these wide receivers. Also,
I think Geno will actually
except
produce
for
in
this is
New York.
rankings page on blogfantasy.com. You actually have access to the great rankings page. If you have a season pass, you can make your own rankings and use them to power the tools. But Terry McLaurin going to be the first guy that we are talking through, right? We got Terry McLaurin here. Previously, he was ahead of Luther Burden and Devontae Adams for me. I'm going to be honest, there's still very little target competition in what should be a pretty good Washington Commanders offense. So this isn't something that's going to have me plummeting Terry McLaurin down my ranks. Like Terry, when we had a healthy Jaden Daniels 2 years ago, was the wide receiver 16 in points per game at 15.75. So I am moving him slightly down this year, down to wide receiver 24, but it's not that big of a fall for Terry McLaurin because he can still very easily see 25-30% of his team's targets. The guy that I moved up considerably is going to be Stephon Diggs. So Stephon Diggs at this point, I am moved up to the very top of his tier, wide receiver 41. I know
What
that
was
seems
that?
low,
Rankings?
but keep in mind, he's ahead of guys like Josh Downs,
ADP?
Jaden Reed, Chris Godwin, Michael Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Jacoby Myers, Michael Pittman, Matthew Golden, Wandale Robinson. So here's my thought process with this tier of receivers. A lot of these guys are wide receiver 2s.
Can I move him?
Like, say,
No.
Michael Wilson, say, Chris Godwin, say, Jaden Reed, Josh Downs. They're the second receiving option in their respective offense. Would I rather have Stephon Diggs, a wide receiver who last season we saw him finish the wide receiver 25 in points per game, in the Washington Commanders offense with with Jaden Daniels throwing the ball? Or would I rather have Josh Downs, who's the wide receiver 2 in the Colts offense, who finished the wide receiver 56 last year in points per game, with Daniel Jones coming off a torn Achilles? I'm going to take Stephon Diggs there. Now, of course, I can't get overly optimistic with Diggs because at the end of the day, this is a wide receiver that's about to turn 33 years old, right? He's a wide receiver about to turn 33. The New England Patriots looked at what they had and they said, you know what, we're fine letting you go, right? No harm, no foul. Enjoy the rest of your career in Washington. So Diggs definitely gets a bump. I'm not going to be telling you that he is some like must-draft guy that you can't afford to pass up on now. I think he is more so wide receiver that you're going to take as the third, fourth wide receiver on your team. And if he does spike up in a big-time way, obviously it's exciting, but it's not a guarantee that he is going to be a top 24 wide receiver in fantasy. Now, let's move over to Daniels as well as the tight end situation here. So with Jaden Daniels, I already had him as my QB3. Again, I think that this does help the Commanders' offense because previously the second best weapon you had here was tight end that had never finished as a top
Ridley,
24
no.
guy, or Antonio Williams or Ridley, right?
I don't
So
want Ridley, bro.
Brandon Diggs is undoubtedly an upgrade over those players. So I had Daniels as our QB3 already, but I am going to move him a tier above. Like, I would very clearly rather have Jaden Daniels at this point over these guys like Drake May, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow.
Sure. Let's go Malik Washington.
For JD. Now going over to Chig,
And then
I know
Sean
Chig was gonna be a
Tucker.
sleeper for a lot of people this year.
Oh, is
Hopefully
Jacoby
you
Lane still
realize
available?
that this is probably the biggest loser in this
Yes.
league. I've already drafted very little of
I don't think I have a share of him in the limb.
Like, he was the tight end 16 in underdog drafts before this went down, which again, I thought was pricing in a season way better than we've ever had. We go through and look at this dude going into year 5 of his NFL career. He had finished as the tight end 29, tight end 26, tight end 29, tight end 27. I think he falls to a range in which he's a waiver wire tight end in your ESPN, in your Yahoo leagues, right? So I'm moving Chig down to, he's not an interesting sleeper anymore. The only reason he was
Alright.
interesting previously was based on the situation. Now Daniels does have a solid wide receiver too. Terry McLaurin moves down slightly for me. Again, there are still so many points to go around in this Washington offense and so little competition that I don't think this kills Terry McLaurin by any stretch of the imagination. And then Stephon Diggs is a big-time riser. This is about the best landing spot he could have possibly had. So Diggs, you can draft as your 3rd, 4th wide receiver, but we will see where he goes in this mock draft here. And then obviously the $250 draft that we're going to be doing right after this. Now, of course, if you want to stay up to date with all of my rankings, not only for those regular PPR redraft leagues, but also for your custom league settings and the platform that you are on, right, to make those adjustments if it's a single flex league, double flex league, half PPR, full PPR, non-PPR, super flex, tight end premium, an 8-team, a 10-team, a 12-team, a 14-team. Every single one of those details is going to change how you should value positions against each other. And then obviously if you're in a non-PPR league, you already know you can draft guys like Derrick Henry.
Let's start the queue for the next eliminator. We're going into another eliminator.
All our rankings changes. We're going to be making them every single day until the season starts. It's very simple. Just get the FlockFantasy.com season pass. The season pass
Lock
is
into
still
another one.
only $34 right now. It's going to get you set up with all those draft assistants that are going to be able to help you in real time through your Sleeper, ESPN, Yahoo drafts. All of those custom draft sheets for your exact league settings as well. And on top of that, you'll be getting weekly and rest of season rankings updated throughout the entire fantasy football season. You'll be getting access to the trade calculator all year round, and you'll be getting access to the My Teams page. And I'm not the only creator on FlockFantasy.com. The vast majority of creators who already watch on YouTube are currently on the site. So I'm going to go ahead and probably take Christian Watson here in the 6th round. And I'll say lastly, if you sign up for the season pass on FlockFantasy.com, definitely do so with code FLOCK, because that way you'll get free questions that you can ask me in the live streams. And we're streaming every single night until Christmas. But regardless, here with the Christian Watson selection, you'll see this with our draft sheets as well. I think it's more appealing to go ahead and take the additional wide receiver whenever we are in a double flex format. Again, a double flex 12-team league. It is actually going to be important to build out your skill positional depth. Like us taking Watson, he's sliding into that second flex spot. We have Hampton RB1, Travis Etienne RB2, Jefferson wide receiver 1, Higgins 2, Cardell Tate first flex, Christian Watson the second flex. But if you were in a single flex league, I think you could very easily
back,
make the argument
Braylon.
to push up the elite onesie like Jaden Daniels, because wide receiver just simply isn't going to be mattering.
Ollie
as much
Gordon.
also. I'm going to take Christian Watson at the 602, and we're going to build out our skill positional depth. This
Jalen
probably means
Wright.
We don't get a quarterback that we're super excited about on the way back around at the 7-Eleven. But who knows? We'll see if we snag some more running backs there. We'll see what ends up making it to us. But
Najee.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen,
Khalil Herbert.
for coming out to hang out with us.
I'm just going Braylon.
I really do appreciate you. And Zufa is asking Stephon Diggs or Parker Washington. My friend, I do have Mr.
Look at that. Into another draft. A 109. Like, I mean,
Tedero McMillan.
well, I did just get the 103, but
Now,
man, that 109, man.
big flock of
Maybe it's
people
telling me something that that's my pick in my main league.
Thanks for all you do. We do a couple giveaways every
All right,
single
this
night.
is we're gonna
As y'all have seen,
go into the next eliminator. Where's my team?
months now,
Let's
we've
see
been
what
doing
the
a new flockfantasy.com season
see the
pass.
final results. We got Purdy, Ward, Geno Smith at Q, Jeremiah Love, Cam Scotabo, Ramondre Stevenson, RJ Harvey, Braylon Allen at RB, Chase, Evans, Pierce, Myers, Higgins, Denzel Boston, Malik Washington, Jacoby Lane, two rookies. And then we have Brock Bowers and Isaiah Likely. Solid squad, solid squad. Nothing too crazy on that one.
Join those are people that found this YouTube channel yesterday or the people that have been here for years. It's very simple. All you have to do is click the link in the live chat. You don't need to have the flockfantasy.com season pass. You don't need to donate anything. You don't need to have any special access. You just gotta hang out with us in the live streams, and everybody here hanging out with us in the stream. You know I appreciate you more than freaking anything in this world, and I want to get back to you in any way that I can. So, whether you're new, whether you've been here for a while, I appreciate you. I'm going to try to keep on giving back to you. Also, we're going to be giving away that free flockfantasy.com season pass every single night until the season starts. And at the same time, we'll be doing the same with the real money leagues that you have to buy $0 into. Now, let's see DK Metcalf off the board at the 709. We're not stressing about wide receiver. Again, we have Christian Watson at wide receiver 4.
Respect my goat, man.
Now, we'll swing this. Jonathan Woods goes at the 710. My highest ranked player is going to be RJ Harvey. We're going to keep it simple. We will take RJ Harvey as our third running back. Technically, Harvey going.
Genty, I think Genty.
And then at this point, we can look at Chuba
Genty.
Hubbard being our highest ranked running back, Dak Prescott being our highest ranked QB. I think we are going to go ahead and take Chuba Hubbard here as our fourth running back.
Jefferson,
And we'll just grab one
Cook,
quarterback at the very end of this in round 9.
James
one
Cook.
tight end at the very end in round 10. Again, I think you are more inclined to just go ahead and take the quarterback or the tight end by the
If he catches more passes this year,
8th round.
Wheels
in
up.
that single flex league, because in that single flex league, it's going to be a little bit less important for you to build out the skill position attack. Now, Matt says, can you give us newcomers a basic explanation of the season pass, sir? I'm going to be honest with you, my friend. I feel like we do that in every single video and every single live stream. And I know people are annoyed about me talking about the season pass at this point. So you'll see some of the tools when we get into our real money draft in 1 second that we use with the season pass, like the real-time draft assistant. But I don't want to go through and list off the 30 things that are on flockfantasy.com that we built out over the past 3 or 4 years, because we do a season pass ad in literally everything we do. So I know the people watching this that are, have been here for a while probably aren't the happiest with us.
hey, do what you gotta do, man.
Says Mason, what happened to the new Flock League video? So in case y'all missed it, I said in the live stream last night that most likely we were going to be getting a Flock League video out this morning. However,
Walker, Chase Brown.
Joe,
Give me Chase Brown.
Y'all know he recorded all the turtle clips last year. Said he was going to get us a clip in. Sounds like it didn't happen, so we delayed to see if we could get a turtle clip in from Mr. Joe voting on our new league rules. He already gave us what he was saying in terms of what his votes were, but we didn't get a clip from him. So maybe the Flock League video comes out tomorrow morning. Maybe he gets in a clip to include in the video. We'll see. Now, Soren says, odds that Gibbs holds out. Detroit is trying out running backs. Here's the deal. If Jahmyr Gibbs holds out, or if he doesn't, it literally has zero impact for me. He's playing week 1. So, if Jahmyr Gibbs holds out, and all of a sudden he's going in like round 3 or round 4 of, I'm sorry, not round 3. He's going at pick 3, at pick 4, at pick 5 of drafts, I will take him every single time. Let me look up the last time we had a running back hold out for an actual season.
Had to be Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell. I was in high school when that happened. So
Pretty sure that's
what
it.
season was that we had a real holdout? 2018. It
JT.
was almost 10 years ago that we had a real running back holdout. There's no way in hell that's happening with Jahmyr Gibbs. There's no way that he's missing time due to this. So I know ESPN will be talking about it a lot. I know probably people on Twitter will be talking about it a lot. But frankly, for fantasy football purposes, I think it's pretty much meaningless if he holds out or not. I won't care about it. Now, Jaden Reed goes
I'll
to
care.
108. I'm going to be taking a quarterback and tight end to just end this draft, so we can say that we got each one of those positions. And then we're going to be bouncing into our next one, where we take that. Where we have the $250 buy. Now, Jackson Dart goes to the 9-10. Let me swing this around. Yeah, I have Mahomes here. Again, we're looking at quarterback, tight ends. We're just going to take like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce to round this thing out. The team at 12 already has Allen and Tyler Warren, so they're not going quarterback or tight end. But it is what it is. And we will take Kelce here at the 10:02. But I like this team in general. Again, for the Flock League, I want to be building out my skill positional depth. So if you were to tell me, hey man, you got Hampton, Etienne, Harvey, Chuba Hubbard as your 4 running backs, I feel damn good about that running back game. The wide receiver, if we had Jefferson up 1, Higgins at 2, Taylor at 3,
Okay.
Christian Watson at 4, I feel good about the wide receiver room as well. Quarterback, tight end, a little bit shaky. What we would do here is we take another quarterback and tight end in the following 2 rounds. But we are going to keep this mock draft a little bit brief, because I do want to be getting into the real money draft that we're going to do right this second. And as I pull that up, I will remind y'all that if y'all ever wanted to get into public mock draft lobbies, right now we are averaging like 10 to 15,000 drafts.
Wonder if he posts in the Discord or the chat.
This is completely free. You don't even need the season pass to do this. But if you go over to flockfantasy.com, you'll see these draft lobbies. You can just go ahead and join whenever you want. Like I said, there have been 10 to 15,000 being completed a day. And yeah, go ahead and hop in one whenever you want. It's free. Don't even need the season pass. Just flockfantasy.com. But let me get this around and let's get ready for this August 5th league. Okay, so I have this link copied. Again, this is the $250 buy-in league. It cost you $0. I am paying $250, and the winner of this league at the end of the season is going to get the entire pot. Second place, again, you're going to get a nice pat on the back. I'm going to tell you, good job. You tried your hardest. It just wasn't enough. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and let's enter this. What I am going to do is I am going to double check to make sure that nobody joins has been in a bunch of the other ones. Because if I see that somebody's been in like 3 drafts straight with us, I'm sorry, we may or may not boot you out of this one. But let me pull up, see if anybody in this league right here is from yesterday's draft. We're just gonna check yesterday's. I'm not gonna check all of them. I don't want to go through that much. But I believe, no, Team Logan. I am sorry, Logan, you were in yesterday's. So I'm going to go into commissioner settings and we are going to boot you out here. I apologize for that, but in the member settings, we're going to remove Logan. He was in yesterday's draft, and we should be able to bring somebody else in here in 1 second. Or do we already have 12 people in? I guess that brought another in, right? Okay, there are these people that are waiting to be assigned, but we already have more than enough people in here, so we don't need to assign them. We can just go ahead and set the time of this draft. People are saying RJ is a
Yeah, I thought about Garrett.
RJ's what so I'm not
I don't
gonna
know.
be going crazy.
Eliminator. Give me my running backs.
But we'll just make sure that it's not the same people getting in over and over again. I don't want to spend 30 minutes doing this. I want to go ahead and hop in the draft though. So let's set this time. I'm going to randomize the draft order. We are going to pull up this draft. and hopefully I got a decent pick. We can pick 8. Not great. Not great, but at least now we have an excuse for why we draft a bad team. Let's get this going. So, when we are in a little bit of an awkward spot, and it comes down to like, do you want to start running back? Do you want to go with a wide receiver like Lamb or Jefferson, and then get your running back in the second? You have a couple different options here, but you kind of know, or at least I'm always assuming from pick 8. I I'm planning on taking a running back in the second round, right? I'm sorry I got thrown off. Just a little bit of a surprise seeing McCaffrey in this draft go before Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, JSN. Jonathan Taylor goes. This is a double flex format. If you're looking at the rankings on the site right now, Amon-Ra St. Brown has the highest ranked player. Is the highest ranked player for almost everybody on the site. Obviously, if you were looking at the custom draft sheets as well for this, double flex full PPR league, St. Brown is the highest, and even Super
Gravy?
has the highest as well. So we'll go ahead. We'll take him here at pick 8. I don't think it's that big of a surprise that we're doing this. Typically, we see him go
Take
up at
J-Mo
6
here.
or 7 in these drafts, but McCaffrey went at 3, Taylor goes at 7, so that pushes St. Brown down to 8.
Loveland, holy shit, almost made it to me.
Now,
That would have been insane.
we have CeeDee Lamb off number 9. Garrett, I see your message. I'll go ahead and send the dad team. Thank you for letting me know. James Cook goes at the 111. Amari Hampton, 201. I'm sorry I can't see.
P-Wash goes. Unfortunate.
Barkley goes 203. If you're looking at the sleeper ADP at this point, London and McBride are the top 2 selections. Again, for me, I'm not a big fan of the sleeper ADP. I would recommend you don't really reference it in your drafts. I would recommend that you go ahead and have a good set of rankings coming in. But we'll see what this team does at the 204.
Take Warren
Maybe
here.
they are Drake London built here.
6, 7, 8,
Chase Brown
9.
goes F me. This is why I hate drafting with y'all. Now at this point, our draft sheets have it as either Bowers or London. Like the running backs with Henry and Walker are pushed down a bit because it is a 3 PPR format. We'll try to mix it up. We'll try to go ahead and take Drake London. Massive snipe with us not getting Chase Brown there. I really prefer Chase Brown with this pick. It's going to put us into a little bit of a tough spot in the coming rounds, but what I'm probably going to prefer here is if we can, I want a running back in the 3rd. Obviously not a guarantee that we get that. There will be a few names that are on my target list. I was really hoping we were going to get one of Hampton, Achane, Barkley, or Chase Brown. Chase Brown is buried with the sleeper ADP. But it is a little bit tougher to draft against y'all, to be honest, knowing that y'all have my rankings. And these. Now, after we take London, we have Walker, Nico, A.J. Brown immediately after. Interesting to see how far Derrick Henry is falling to this. Derrick Henry made it down to the 209. Again, Derrick Henry is going to be a little bit lower in these full PPR draft sheets as opposed to where he is in the non-PPR. I'm trying to hide this over here behind me on the screen because I don't know. Obviously, I have the draft assistant pulled up that comes with the season pass. And I'm referencing the custom sheets made for these exact league settings with the sleeper platform as well. So that is what I am looking at for this draft as I go through and make our selections.
Oh
Obviously,
my
we'll make adjustments based on our team need through the early rounds.
RJ
You can
Harvey.
see that we are well over the points that we need at wide receivers so far through this draft, and we really need running backs. So in general, we're going to be preferring to take a running back here in the third round over a wide receiver if we can. Now, does that mean I'm going to reach a couple tiers on a running back over a receiver? Probably not. But
I'm on the clock.
and I will send a message from Sammy Stacks here. You all that know Sammy Stacks is running these teams with me. He is going to be the reason why we are able to do so many of these.
Let's go,
drafts,
Caleb.
Manage the waiver wire, manage the start sits through the entire season. He sent me a voice memo. I have no idea what the hell this is, but if y'all watch the Flock League, y'all know Sammy Stacks won the fan competition last year. He is in our league. We hired him to Flock Fantasy. Shout out Sammy, he's an absolute superstar. Let's see what he has to say about our first two picks.
Mason Dodd, the man who traded George Pickens because he was like, oh, look what he did in Pittsburgh, look what he did in Pittsburgh. Then look what happened. That this year is Kenneth Walker. I promise you. I gotta manage these leagues all year. And you're passing on Kenneth Walker to take Tua Tagovailoa as wide receiver 1? You know, he came to me, hey, Sammy, can you manage these leagues for me? Can you manage these leagues for me? Maybe, you know, if you win, you can keep the pod. I'm gonna end up with less money.
Okay, it sounds like Sammy's not a fan of our selections through the first two rounds. Sounds like the feedback we have is not the most positive. But I'm going to keep my head high.
Going with Sutton,
I'm going
man.
to go ahead and hopefully make the man proud. And we're going to reach dramatically past
Oh,
ADP.
2 week 10 buys.
And
It's all
we
good,
take
it's all
Devonta
good.
Smith here.
It's all good. It's all good. Everybody chill.
I don't know if there's much to think about. Let's do it. We're going to take Devonta Smith. We're going to take our third wide receiver. He will be in our first flex spot. And rest in peace, Sammy, my friend. Maybe I'm doing this to sabotage you, brother. Maybe I'm doing this to sabotage you. Zay Flowers goes at the 3 and 9. At this point, when we have St. Brown, Drake London, and Devonta Smith, what we are very clearly hoping for is we are very clearly hoping that wide receivers get drafted.
Purdy, no
Maybe what I
no
would expect
draft
with
photo.
these teams here at the end that went running back to probably take a wide receiver here at the 3-4 turn. But again, is that a guarantee? Hell to the no. Far from a guarantee. So who knows? Maybe we end up getting sniped on a running back that we need because it doesn't surprise anybody when we go with 0 running backs in the first 3 rounds. We're gonna need one, to say the least. But after we take Devonta Smith, we do see that massive run of wide receivers, which is typically what I expect at the 3-4 turn. Now, Javonte goes for
Scatterbo, Montgomery.
Very interesting, as Josh Allen is the highest ranked player according to my draft sheets. He has a 39% chance of getting taken with this pick, according to the draft assistant. And we'll see if it ends up happening. But this team at sight in has Lamb, Chase Brown, and Zay Flowers. He goes Luther Burden. So I'll show you all my draft sheets at this point. My draft sheets.
Yeah, just take Josh Allen, buddy.
Being Josh Allen, Travis Etienne, and then Ladd McConkey. But if we use the draft assistant, go over to that team tab, we can see we have a ton of wide receiver points. We have 133% of the points that we need at this point of the draft. We're well over. So what does that mean? Probably means we need to listen to our sheets and go with our highest ranked running back, which that highest ranked running back is going to be Travis Etienne. We will take Etienne here in the 4th round. And we will hope that Alvin Kamara is dust. And I will show you all again what Etienne did last season, just in case you forgot. I know you most likely did not forget, but
Oh shit. Keep her.
Travis Etienne got the player card on
Oh, Addison. Very nice.
was the running back 10 in fantasy.
Week
Dropped
8,
200
week 6. Oh
fantasy
my
points,
god,
1100
bro.
rushing yards,
It's all good.
almost
Let's go.
300 receiving yards. Now, of course, is the expectation for him to be the running back 10 yet again? Probably not. Main reason being is the Saints offense Saints.
Oh, Pittman almost made it back to me.
had
Wow.
the Jacksonville Jaguars offense last
I didn't even
season.
peep.
But who knows?
I'm glad I wasn't looking. I would have
Let's
been
go ahead
pissed
and
I
see
got
what
that I got
Kansas
sniped.
City up, and let's see if the New Orleans Saints take a massive leap forward this year. Like sportsbooks are currently
I would have been
projecting.
hot, brother.
Now, Josh Allen goes to the 406, and let me see what our the draft assistant still says we're in desperate need of a running back. Still says we have plenty of wide receiver points, but we need more running back points coming out of this roster, which obviously I don't think would surprise me.
Okay. I fuck with Wandale. Could go QB.
Now Terry goes to the 409.
Alright.
That is post Stephon Diggs signing. I am so dumb I didn't even remember to look at where Stephon Diggs got
Jared
drafted in the
Goff.
last draft.
Would not mind that actually. Let's lock him in.
Okay, let's see what Sammy says. Sammy just sent another voice memo. Let me know if y'all like these voice memos from Sammy. It can be something we make a regular occurrence happen in these live streams. So y'all gotta spam the chat, yay or nay, to the Sammy voice memos. But here's what he has for us now.
Mason, I absolutely love that you're pulling up the Travis Etienne player card, seeing that he was the RB10 last year. You better hope he's good this year, because this is the 5th draft you've done, and this is the 4th time that you've taken Travis Etienne. Ever heard of a balanced portfolio? Ever heard of not putting all your eggs in one basket? You're sitting at 80% exposure to Travis Etienne.
Okay. I want to correct something for the record. I am not sitting at 80% exposure of Travis Etienne, Sammy. We are sitting at 80%. Okay? You're in this with me. You could have shot me a message this morning. We were on the dev call for flockfantasy.com this morning together. You could have very easily brought up, hey man, I just noticed so far 4 of our teams, 3 of them already have Travis Etienne. Probably don't plan on taking Travis Etienne in the 4th round of tonight's round. You could have mentioned that. You could have brought it up. You had the opportunity. I was right there with you, buddy. You didn't say anything. Okay. So, it's not that I have a lot of Travis Etienne. It's that we have a lot of Travis Etienne, my friend. Now, Trevion Henderson off of the 504. This is going to surprise nobody here, but I may or may not need a running back, so seeing Trevion Henderson go here ain't the best. Seeing Bucky Irving go here at the 505, it ain't the best for us.
Damn.
Okay, we are up in 2 picks. My highest ranked player, I don't exactly want to say who it is, has a 26% chance of getting taken, but honestly, I don't even know if we want him because we have built our team a specific way. Our 2nd highest ranked player with the draft sheets does indeed go here at the 506, which
Oh, what the hell happened to my stream, man?
Thank God. Thank God. If we're looking at like our draft sheets right now, we have
Don't have a
Joe
tight
Burrow
end.
and Quinshon Judkins back to back. But again, we go over to the draft assistant. We can see what do we need? Running backs.
What coker?
Even if you didn't have the season pass, you should know if Travis Etienne's your only running back, and you have
My stream just
Amon-Ra,
restarted like
you
that.
have London, you have Devonta Smith. You probably need more running back points than wide receiver points going into the future. So we'll take Quinshon Judkins here at the 508. I think the stream yesterday that we did was we had drafted a very heavy wide receiver start. We got Etienne in the 4th, and we had the opportunity to take a running back in the 5th, and however, we took Lamar Jackson instead.
These are my.
And the stream that we did yesterday, I think we took Lamar at the 505.
Cool.
Something like that. Or maybe the Lamar pick was at the 504. But really, clearly, in the stream yesterday, that led us to be able to move forward. So if we get too far behind that, either wide receiver or running back through the first 4 rounds, I don't think we can justify taking the elite quarterback here in the 5th. But once we take Judkins, I'm not going to pretend like all of a sudden our running back position is solid and fixed everything. But we're in a better position.
Okay.
I think it would be the end of the world if
Goddard
we
is nice. One of the
take an elite
QBs
quarterback.
maybe. But
After we take Judkins,
if
we
said
take
player
Judkins,
does not get
we'll
taken,
take
let's
all
go
off.
Jaden Higgins.
Now, remind y'all real quick, if you have not done so already, if
Let's go. We're back on wide receiver, baby.
you want to enter in to win a free flogfantasy.com season pass, that way you have the custom draft sheets for your drafts, that way you have the real-time draft assistance, blah, blah, blah. All you gotta do is drop a like on the screen and then type the word season pass into the live chat.
Twin, I got that shit already, twin. Not gonna lie to you, twin.
Better Hornets to say, Mason, Better Hornets saw a clip of you beating Avery last year when Hampton played with the Spurs. That was one of my favorite moments of my life.
Does this even work anymore?
My favorite moments of the flock was last year. One,
I need a new chair, boys.
was the Martin foul, and I literally called it before it happened. And two, when Bush gave a speech because he was so excited thinking that he got into the playoffs, and he just needed like Lad McConkey to not get outscored by Cameron Dicker by like 4 points, and he somehow found a way to lose. And then I ran over and woke up Mrs. Flock to tell her that Bush missed the playoffs. Those were probably my favorite moments in the Flock league from this past year. So the draft sheets have Tyler Warren and Jaden Daniels as my two highest ranked players. I'm probably going to take Tyler Warren here. Obviously, Daniels does look a little more appealing with the dig stuff now, but Tyler Warren in the 6th round, based on where we've seen some of these other tight end values be, I think it's completely reasonable, and I think we can afford it at this point. Again, I'm not going to tell you that we have a good running back room. Like the draft assistant now, after we take Tyler Warren, saying we're good on tight end points, we don't need to take any more tight ends.
I could essentially stop at Caleb and Goff, for sure.
We still very much need help
Damn,
at running
Juwan
back.
would have been nice.
Obviously,
Wow, okay.
I think we've done an okay job catching up.
Well, I have a lot of Kamara,
We at the very minimum have
Bigsby,
a couple guys who start early in the
premium
season.
handcuff.
And obviously, Sammy can be a waiver wire warrior for us and hopefully find another running back or two.
Locking my
He
5th.
says, I still remember the live stream after the Hampton fumble and you did the gritty. Never seen you so happy. It was one of the best nights of my life. And yeah, I'm not effing leaving. So, I'll let y'all in on a little bit of the behind the scenes on like
Do you
from
keep Tony Pollard or George Kittle?
off camera. Ave and not
Would I keep Pollard or Kittle? Feel like I'd keep Kittle, to be honest. Tony Pollard, I mean, Tennessee Titans just doesn't do it for me. I know Kittle's coming off the Achilles injury, but I feel like later on in the season he's gonna slap. Wondering about Pollard or Kittle. Well, 1 second, let me make this pick, and I got you on that second question. I need a tight end, but Sadiq, man. Schultz have so many Texans already. Let's go. Oh, okay, whatever. Thanks for the back. Got you. I traded my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd last year, but I have Josh Allen, Breece Hall, AJ Brown, Rashee Rice, Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, and Kittle as my keepers. So you have Breece, Kenneth Walker, and Bucky. Oh, and then Kittle. Yeah, I mean, your RBs are pretty solid, man. I really don't think you need Pollard. I think Kittle could be a difference maker for you later on in the season. 100%. So yeah, that's my thoughts, Kyle. Schultz. Yeah, I have way too many Houston Texans, man. But I don't think it's a bad thing, though. I think they're a good team. Higgins, Schultz, Montgomery. Right on. Thanks, brother. No problem, Kyle. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to pop in whenever. Ask me a question. I got you.
No longer taking tight ends once we take Tyler Warren there. I don't want to say
Like,
anything
subscribe.
too
Appreciate you,
long.
man. Appreciate you, Kyle. Dun-dun-dun. Hopefully I see you.
Mason has
In another
talked to
stream.
a streamer, and he said,
Yes, sir.
you really won't be doing DBA next year. Who the hell said that? I have not heard that. But who is saying it? My highest ranked player is Jalen Hurts, and there's no way that Hurts makes it back to us. Right now, the draft assistant's saying there's a 93% chance that Jalen Hurts would get drafted if we pass on him here. F it. I think we take Hurts. We're gonna do it. We're gonna take Jalen Hurts. This is a 4-point passing touchdown format, 6-point passing touchdown league. Obviously, Jalen Hurts a little bit less appealing.
Could stop
6-point
at
passing
2.
touchdown league's probably better off just waiting, going ahead and getting Dak Prescott. But I just heard something get smacked around the house. So if a burglar comes through behind me, chat, let me know. You see a burglar walk up behind me.
Jeez. Juwan Jennings? I got Jordan Addison already. All right, thank you.
206.
Yikes.
98 pounds. Okay. That's nice of Avery. I will say that I am actually only 4'11 with my shoes on.
I'm going to grab another tight end here.
But stand on my
Because,
money
geez,
on 6'10".
the options are very slim.
Or stand on Avery's money and I'm 6'10". Now, after we take Hurts, we kind of want to see Caleb Williams get drafted.
Where did Diggs go?
I may feel a little silly if Caleb
Do you stack any
Williams-
particular bill with Josh Allen? Yeah, DJ Moore all the time, bro. I'm really high on DJ Moore this year. I know people are pretty sour on him because of his last couple of years, but I think him being in a new situation,
Lewis is- I can't remember his
of
name.
new, fresh situation with Josh Allen, best QB in the league, arguably, of course. I think it's a different energy.
Random streamer, you don't know the
And,
name of,
yeah,
is a
last year's too many mouths to feed in
reliable
Buffalo.
source of what Underdog is going to be doing in the future.
Yeah, I'm totally targeting DJ Moore this year for sure. I think he could, he's going like, let's see where he went in here.
Now,
I know it's a little different in the Eliminator. Let me make this pick right quick.
Dylan says he said you are every bit as short as he is. Let's go. Let's pull me up next. Okay, we know Avery.
Terrence Ferguson,
Y'all have seen
cool.
Avery in the flock. You've seen his.
Yeah,
late
so-
behind his house. You've seen his movie theater.
Traded for
You've
him.
seen his studio.
I think he's gonna blow this year,
You've
man.
seen all the- Let's go
Blow
ahead
up, I
and
should
pull
say.
up some photos of
Oh yeah, like I said, where did he go in the year?
these people that got-
Usually goes 5th round. Yeah, 5th round price tag. Wide receiver.
Real quick, we're about to be on the clock.
Like
Chuba Hubbard,
16 or some shit.
the eighth, that would have been a phenomenal value.
I think he'll smash that price.
But let me swing this around.
And then also, I don't know if you've seen the
I'm not
clip.
looking at tight end.
I'll show you right quick if I can find it.
It's just running back, wide receiver.
Maybe take him in the 4th, 5th, 6th. Yeah, 5th for sure. 6th, 100%. Let me see if I don't know if you've seen the clip of him at camp catching that ball over three people. Let me see if I can find it right quick. DJ Moore. Like, he's looking good in camp. Oh, here it is. So let me see if I can show you right quick. Yeah, let me pause that right quick. You know, this is just camp 2, whatever, but still. I think he's going to be catching a lot of bombs, man. And, of course, you know, the Bills got a tough schedule this year, which, honestly, benefits them because they always, whenever they're playing somebody shitty, they play shitty, but when they're playing somebody good, it's competitive. Yeah, so. Malik Washington. Dell, I would scoop, but I already have hella. Keenan Allen, does he really sign somewhere? Guess I'll just take a shot on Malik Washington. Why not? Nice catch. Yeah, that was crazy. I've heard only good things about DJ Moore in camp so far. It's raining right here. Scoop. Yeah, look at that, man. Come on. You're not taking that in the 5th round? I'm taking that in the 5th round. Easily. Come on now. Come on now, man. Yeah, he looks good. He looks good, man. So, DJ Moore. I'm locked in on DJ Moore this year. Oh, Jacoby Lane. I actually would have rather Jacoby Lane than Malik Washington. Take a look into Jacoby Lane, too. Don't sleep. Future wide receiver 2 on the Ravens. He does, man. He looks good. I'm a Dolphins fan. I hate the Bills, but when it comes to fantasy, I got to put that stuff aside. Deshaun Watson, that's funny. I think I go for an 8th receiver. Jacoby Lane would have been nice. It's literally dust out here. Cyrus Allen. No, he got hurt. I guess he's back. Caleb Douglas would have did it if I didn't just take a... Yeah, fuck it. Let me take this dude. Why not? Who are your fave rookies? Carnell Tate, for sure. Carnell Tate, I like him a lot. I like Jeremiah Love in the 3rd round a lot. Cyrus looks good. I know he got dinged up at practice. Jacoby Lane I like a lot. What other rookies? I do like Kenyon Sadiq, but I think he's dealing with some injuries. So that's like a later on in the year type of thing. Omar Cooper's cool. Who else? Oh, yeah, Jordan Tyson, for sure. I like Jordan Tyson a lot. Yeah, Tate, Tyson. I do like Lemon as well, but he is also not practicing. Yeah, Jordan Tyson, I like him a lot. I think I'd rather Tyson than Olave, to be honest. You're paying a 3rd round price tag on Olave. And he's, Olave is great, and he's well worthy of that contract he just got. But one hard hit, one wrong hit, his career could be over. So it's a lot of risk spending a 3rd round pick on. With that being said, I do like Olave. I will click Olave, but I think I'd rather have Igbuka over Olave. But yeah, all in all, I think I like Tyson at his price better. Yeah, I mean, I like the Dolphins rookies. Yeah, he's one shot away. Yeah, literally one shot away, just like Tua. Shout out to Tua. I will not miss you. Oh, the Browns rookies, Denzel Boston and KC Concepcion. I've kind of at first I was on KC heavy, but now I'm on Denzel Boston heavy. He looks real good in camp. So yeah, those are the rookies I like. Jadarian Price, I don't know what to think about. I think he'll be solid, Jadarian Price. But when Sharps comes back, what are we talking about? So yeah, those are really the rookies I'm feeling. Malik Willis is going to surprise some people, I think. I think so too. Where he's going in drafts, he's going off as like the QB 20. He went pretty early here, 10th round, because usually he goes like 11th, 12th rounds. I mean, just his rushing upside alone is like enough for you, to take a shot on him. So I think so as well. I really like Malik Willis. He passed the eye test for me. Even though it's a low sample size, I still believe in Malik Willis. Or I still believe he was going to do some, like you said, surprise people. For sure. Let's hit another eliminator. Why not? Him and Achan in the run game, yeah. I think Caden Proctor, he's going to be at guard to start his career. We got a heavy. I think we said we're the second heaviest O line in the league, behind the Eagles, I think, or the Broncos. Not sure which one. That's a pretty nuanced statistic, but hey, we got some big boys up there. I like Caden Proctor. And I like this coaching staff a lot. Our schedule is brutal, though. Let me show you. Let me see. Dolphins schedule. Predictor. The defense. Yeah, no, we got we drafted two. We traded up for that corner. I forget his name. And then we got the Jordan Brooks. I think they're going to hang in these games, but I don't think they're going to pull it out many games. Because, look at this schedule, man. I think they'll hang with the Bills, but eventually lose. Raiders, Dolphins, toss-up. Let's just say we win that game. 49ers, I don't think we win. Chiefs, I don't think we win. Vikings, you could say that one's a toss-up too. But I think we lose that game too. Bengals are going to scoop us. Jets in New York, I think we possibly lose that game. I think the Jets might surprise people this year too. So let's say we lose that game. Are we going to beat the Patriots this year? I don't think so. We're going to beat the Lions? No. The Colts, that's also a maybe. I'll give us the winner versus the Colts. We're going to lose to the Bills. Sorry. We beat the Jets. Broncos, we're not, yeah. Bears beat us. Hey, I think we go into Lambeau and beat the Packers. We're the Miami Packers, right? Give us a dub. Chargers, Mike McDaniel's revenge. Give us the dub. And then we lose right here. Bum, bum. That's 4 wins. I don't know. 4 to 5 wins. I think that's our ceiling right there. To be honest with you. So Malik Willis game. Yeah, Malik Willis game for sure. For sure. But yeah, I am still excited for Malik Willis. I'm just not very optimistic on this year. And then hopefully we get a top pick, Jeremiah Smith, and we keep building. I'm excited with this coaching staff and the vision. I'm excited to have a clean slate, man. I was so tired of Chris Greer. Mike McDaniel, great OC. Not a head coach. And then, of course, Tua over Herbert. That haunts us. And it is what it is, man. So this year, I think we're going to have to take it on the chin as a Dolphins fan. But I like the direction we're headed into, for sure. Who's your squad? Do you have a squad? Or are you just like fantasy? JSN, JT, damn, in the Eliminator. I do like JSN, but go JT. Damn, Monroe over JSN? That's kind of crazy. JSN disrespect is a little too high. I know Clinton's gone. I know Kenneth Walker's gone, whatever. But come on, man. Put some respect on JSN's name, man. Monroe's super safe, though. Titans are your favorite? Oh, cool. Been a fan since the Eddie George, Steve McNair days. Wow. Okay. You guys had some pretty good squads, man, especially with Vrabel and Derrick Henry and all that. Oh yeah, you guys have Malik Willis too. But I'm also, a Hurricanes fan. Cam Ward, he's a dog, man. Yeah, man, Titans have just been ass. But hopefully Cam Ward could, turn the franchise around for y'all. I believe he will. I think he's super focused strictly on football. They just picked Cardinal Tate at 4, getting them weapons. Wan'Dale Robinson. So, Wolverines for me, go blue. Okay. Michigan. Hold on here. Devon Achane. A.J. Brown. Fuck, let's scoop Achane up. Yeah. Cardinal Tate. I think the Titans will. Oh, let's see their schedule. And then Michigan. I don't know. Are they any good? I mean, obviously they're always good, but hopefully the Titans improve. Yeah, I think this is definitely a winnable game for them. At home as well. I really wanted you guys to get Jeremiah Love. That would have been a great spot. But yeah, maybe another year. Let's see here, Jets. Let's give you the dub. Don't know if you guys beat the Eagles, but at home though. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a winnable game versus the Giants. I think that's winnable. I'm going to give you all the dub. Ravens, I don't think so. Texans, I don't think so. This is a winnable game versus the Colts. In Indy, though, I'm going to give it to the Colts. Versus the Browns, I got y'all. The Bengals, I got the Bengals. The Jags this year, that's a tough squad. Are you watching the game tomorrow night? Yeah, I'm going to be at work, but I will be watching while I'm at work for sure. Totally forgot about the Hall of Fame game tomorrow. But it feels good, man. It feels good. I mean, nobody's significant's going to be playing, but it's going to be cool to watch, it's going to be cool to watch people all, in pads running around. It's just going to feel right. It's going to feel right. Devonta Smith. I'm not really a Devonta Smith type of guy, man. McBride. I'm just going to take Ibuka. I like Ibuka. Excited for the first. Yeah, man. It's going to be nice. Might place a little bet. Nah, I'm not going to bet on that. Yeah, they said Jeremiah Love's not playing. So. Gonna have to take the Jags there. Actually, this is at home. I'll do that. I'll give you all a split. Commanders look nice. Lions look nice. We'll give you guys you'll split with the Colts. The Raiders are interesting. I think I'm being pretty generous with y'all boys. Do you like Tyler Algier for week 1 DFS? Whoa. That's definitely out of my realm of expertise, but DFS, he's probably a lower owned player. Obviously Jeremiah Love's going to be involved. Maybe Algier scores the touchdowns first couple weeks. Who do they play week 1? Let's see who they play week 1. The Chargers. Yeah, man. That probably wouldn't be my first go-to be honest. But I could see it. Can you tell me his price? What's his price? got to be lower, right? Let's lock in my third RB here. Fuck it. I wanted Scatabo though. Whatever. Um, 4.9K. It's probably pretty low. It sounds low. I think, like I said, he's going to be low owned for sure, I think. So that's a good, I know those things are good if you're, being unique. So, hey, man, if you're going to put a lineup in, fuck it. Throw him in there as your little flex. You never know. I'd have to, see the rest of the options. Maybe I like something different. But, yeah, that's just my off-top thoughts for sure. There's definitely some more people that are well-versed in DFS. I've never really won anything in DFS. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts for sure. Actually, we could probably look up his lines for week 1. Tyler. I don't even know how to spell his last name. Oh, that says right there. Algier. Week 1. Week 1. Vegas lines. Cole Sullivan would have been cool to grab, whatever. Oh, it's player prop, right? No player props. Baseline expectation is 3.5 PPR points per game. Yeah, you just gotta hope he scores at that point. Is there a site I can actually look at this shit or what? 1 second, Kyle. Lamar, that would have been interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go Devontae Adams, 100%. Week 11, okay, cool. You think Breece Hall and the Jets do any good this year? LO, they are trash, but I'm hoping Breece Hall balls out. Hey, man, I actually like Breece Hall a lot. I have quite the bag on him in the 3rd round. I think, to be honest, they have a very talented squad, to be honest. It's just very... It never sits right to click a Jets player, though. It's always the same thing. Oh, it's the Jets. It's the Jets. But Breece Hall, if he was on any other team, he'd be getting drafted with these guys for sure. 100%. But I do think, like I said, I think I said it earlier, I think the Jets will surprise people. I like Geno Smith a lot. I know he sucked ass on the Raiders last year, but the Raiders O-line was a death trap. So, and the Jets actually have a better O-line. You got Garrett Wilson on the outside, Breece Hall, Kenyon Sadiq, Omar Cooper, Adonai Mitchell, Braylon Allen, Mason Taylor. They got guys. Their defense isn't half bad. So I think the Jets will do pretty decent this year. Decent. When I say decent, I'm not saying much, but I think they'll be able to score some points. Actually, if you check my YouTube, if you're bored or something later or whatever, I did do a video on the AFC East on my YouTube. So if you want to check it out, you can go more in depth a little bit. Marvin Harrison. Let's lock in Jordan Tyson. Why not? Let's have some fun. Do you cuff Breece Hall? Braylon Allen is... I like Braylon Allen. Definitely a fun handcuff for sure. If Breece were to go down, Braylon would be a valuable asset for sure. Do I cuff Breece Hall? Honestly, my thoughts on cuffing, I think it limits your upside a lot. it takes a bench slot for sure. Do you cuff Bucky Irving? Sorry, what I was saying about the cuffing, that it limits your upside, because if I'm taking Breece Hall, I'm pretty much making a bet. I'm betting on Breece Hall to, be the guy the whole year. So I don't want his handcuff. I do want, say if I didn't have Breece Hall, I would gladly roster Braylon Allen. I don't know if that makes sense. Because if he goes down, then I have the starter. If I have Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, if Breece Hall goes down, I'm not really gaining anything. I'm staying where I'm at, right? I don't know. It's kind of a weird way to think, but do I cuff Bucky Irving? Yeah, I mean Gainwell and Sean Tucker are. I like Gainwell a lot this year for sure, and I think Bucky is being slept on this year for sure. He had surgery. He's at practicing a lot. In the Eliminator, he goes way earlier, but in BBM, he's like 6th round, late. 5th round selection. So not I don't necessarily cuff him, but I do. I do like, whatever. I do like the Buccaneers running back pieces for sure. Yeah, I love Bucky. I love watching Bucky play. Last year, I traded for him because I thought he'd be coming back off the injury. I was in a desperate spot. I was trying to make a move, trade for Bucky, and yeah, like he didn't play for like the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. I was like, fuck. And you have no idea what's going on. He's posting like subliminal messages on his Instagram story. It's like, god damn. But as a player, yeah, he is amazing. He has the skill set. He can catch the ball. He runs hard. He's fast. And I think he'll have a good year this year. That's another guy people are sour on for sure, which is why he goes a little bit later in drafts. But I think that's wrong. I think he should be going with. I think he should definitely be going with guys up here. Montgomery, Scatterbo. Do I like him over Travis Etienne, Achane, whatever you want to call him? I don't know what to think about Travis Achane this year. I think it's going to be a 50-50 with Kamara. I don't know. But yeah, Bucky. I like Bucky too, man. And I think his price is wrong. Week 9. Let's go Michael Pittman Jr., man. Rashad White actually would be interesting. Oh well. These 20-second clocks got you. They're making you, they got you on your toes. But I did take 3 in the first 4 rounds, so it's not that big of a deal. Michael Wilson, damn. Yeah, actually, I might have liked Michael Wilson better. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe about the same. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Okay. A lot of receivers going off this round. Rashad goes. JCM goes. That's an interesting backfield to look at. Corey Krosky-Merritt. He had those few games. But when he got the starting role, he didn't do shit with it, man. But another year removed. I mean, not removed, but another year under his belt. Or a year under his belt, as I say. Definitely going to improve. I mean, as a runner, he was definitely electric. Guy, I heard he's even at back at practice Monday. Okay. Guy or Gainwell. Yeah, there's definitely a tier here after this. Yeah, I like Mitchell. Manungai goes. Gainwell is there for the taking. Could take a quarterback. Harold Fannin is there. I like Harold Fannin. Oh no, I haven't picked for a long time. Fuck. So Gainwell. Fuck it. We were just talking about him. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nez shares his takes. Switch account. Huh. I was hoping one of these quarterbacks fell. Oh well. Ravens training camps. 0-17. What? Best ball. Hey. #1 draft strategy. I'm on the clock. Yeah, I think I got to take Baker here. Week 10. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take Baker here. I got Ibuka and Gainwell. Oh, that's right. I'm in an eliminator. Stacking, I'm sure, I don't think is that important, but whatever. Wasn't really. Oh, Kittle. Yeah. Our receivers are kind of chopped. I could stop at 4 here for sure. Could attack on a third.
Tell you is that at the end of the day,
My boy Ron. Let's see what happens. Diggs. Forgot about Diggs. I have plenty of Diggs, but got to see where his price lands at now. Maybe I'll let him settle before I scoop. Jaden Higgins, I like Higgins a lot. Aaron Jones. Man, Keaton Mitchell is there though. It's either Kittle. Oh man. Could take Shuck for my third Q. But I think Prescott and Baker can hold down the fort. Let's go Keaton Mitchell, man. fifth running back. My receivers, Igbuka, Adams, Tyson, Pittman, very weak at receiver. No tight ends. This is getting dicey, boys.
Very few players in fantasy football actually matter. I would almost guarantee that the guy who won your fantasy football league probably had McCaffrey, Puka, Bijan, JT, JSN, or Jameer Gibbs, and that guy ended up winning. If he had two of them, our mindset in fantasy should be to avoid the catastrophic landmines early and collect as many of these high impact players as possible. So today, this is, if you could only watch one video before drafting this season, it should be this one. We're going to break down strategy position by position and then do a few mock drafts from the early, middle, and late parts of a fantasy draft at the end to get you prepared for your 2026 season and win your league. Now let's start with running back draft strategy. Here I have pulled up the best wins above replacement seasons at running back since 2021. So over the last 5 seasons. For this video, we're going to look through the lens of wins above replacement and look at the landscape of fantasy football over the last 5 years to get our concrete takeaways for this upcoming season. And McCaffrey, of course, headlines this list with 3.2 wins above replacement. Just below him is the Christian McCaffrey year in 2023. Now, what's the point of showing you wins above replacement here?
Shuck.
These guys are running backs. We could just sort by points per game. Well, the first thing
Yeah,
being
I'm gonna take
that we can sort by points per game, but there's some years where maybe there's only one 20-point per game scorer, and the next highest scoring running back is like a 16-point per game guy. That 20 points per game in that season is going to be more valuable than a 24-point per game season where there are 6 running backs who score 20 plus points per game. But the real benefit is that we can use wins above replacement to judge players across positions, because when we look at running back versus wide receiver, sure, that is a very easy point A versus point B. But what's the difference between a 20-point per game running back and a 19-point per game tight end or a 25-point per game quarterback? How can we go position by position and figure out what is actually helping us win football games or fantasy football games? And that is going to be with wins above replacement. This estimates how many more head-to-head matchups a team wins with a specific player compared to a freely available player on the waiver wire or on your bench. So what we have here is a way to compare running backs versus wide receivers versus quarterbacks versus tight ends, so then we can also judge those players against the replacement level players in your league. If a player gets hurt or there's a bye week, you are running to the waiver wire or the bottom of your bench to fill in behind those players, which then brings us to the wins above replacement leaderboard since 2021. These are your best wins above replacement seasons over the last 5 years. McCaffrey is just barely edged out by Cooper Kupp at the top, but to me, it checks out. These are the best 34
Cooper Kupp.
seasons
Jamar
since
Chase.
2021. These are the seasons where they have all hit 2 or more wins above replacement. Again, meaning the difference between going 6-8 and going 8-6. Now, why does this matter? Again,
CeeDee Lamb up there.
now,
Puka Nacua.
everyone's on the same playing field, and when we are trying to find these infinity stones or these monster seasons, we can compare apples to apples, right? We can see on this chart, Lamar Jackson 25-point per game season in 2024 is roughly the same value as what Jameer Gibbs was in 2024, what Devon Achane was last season. And you might look at this chart as well and say, well,
Denzel Boston, where'd he go?
why is that less wins
He got drafted?
than Lamar Jackson? Well,
Oh,
it
shit.
also takes into account the landscape of that individual.
160?
Because Jalen Hurts had
Oh my God.
26.4 points per game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take him.
Patrick Mahomes there in 2022.
Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, Juwan Jennings, Ryan Flournoy.
There were multiple monster
Meh.
quarterback seasons
I'll take
in that year. So
Denzel
now
Boston.
Everyone's on the same playing field, and we can now see where can we find these
Coker,
impact
that would've been
players,
nice.
right? What round was Lamar Jackson taken in? What round was Cooper Kupp taken in? We can start to piece
Oh,
together
I passed
how
one.
we can get these super high impact wins above replacement players as the draft goes on. So I then took the ADP over the last 5 years from Sleeper and ESPN, and we actually mapped out where all of these guys are coming from. We have in round 1, 9 running backs and 8 wide receivers that hit 2 or more wins above replacement. We have 5 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1
Wins
tight end in round 2.
above
And
replacement.
then in round 3, we have no running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 quarterbacks, and then a handful in round 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then from there on, you aren't finding a 2+ wins above replacement season just off of waivers or in round 10+. The guys you needed to have are usually guys that are getting drafted early. We actually have gotten a lot better at this, where we're getting pretty good. There's a lot of data out there. There's a lot of analysis out there. We are drafting the players that matter in a given season. Now, with running back, as you can see here, as it pertains to running back strategy, all of these monster impact running backs were drafted in round 1 and round 2, outside of the round 4 to 5.
Did he get hurt or something?
Which was Josh Jacobs in 2022. What I'm trying to say is we are really good at drafting running backs. You can see here, last season, in terms of the point per game leaderboard at running back, every 20-plus point per game scorer was drafted inside of the first 2 rounds. That would be McCaffrey, Bijan, JT, Gibbs, Devon Achane. And then even all the way down through Kyron, we're talking about the top 10 running backs in points per game.
Gadsden.
We're all drafted inside of the top 3 rounds. It's not until you get
Strange. Okay, I'll take Hunter Henry.
outside of the top 3 rounds. So when we're drafting running backs, we ideally
Yeah.
want to draft 1 or 2 of them early. That's nothing crazy or nothing novel, but we are really good at spotting.
It's
the
gonna
high
be
impact
80
running backs
Mitchell
early in the draft, so we
or
wanna be
TJ
targeting
or
running backs
AJ.
in that area. But I do want to stress the importance of shooting for upside in this range. When we look at Saquon Barkley's 2025, this is illustrated here. We can take the wins above replacement across every single position over the last 5
Yeah.
seasons and chart a line of expectation. Every single pick on the board has an expected amount of wins above replacement that they should be offering you at that draft price. Last season, Saquon Barkley was the 3rd overall pick. He needed to have a 1.75-ish wins above replacement. Instead, he was at exactly 1, which is decent,
4 more
but he
picks.
drafted him 3rd overall, so he ended up being one of the 5 worst picks at the running back position last season. But you can see his exact season, 14.5 point per game, his 1.0 wins above replacement, the 13th best among running backs. You start to actually gain value as you get cheaper. And
Oh, Lord, oh, Lord.
3rd round pick, he actually would have paid off at his ADP. What I'm trying to say is that when you draft anybody early, they have to pay off at the price that is this black line. And this is true for every position, but running back is so boom bust that we want to be drafting them with the intention of maximum upside. I charted out every single round 1 and round 2 pick since 2021, and I charted their wins above replacement over expectation. So when we adjust for that line that we just saw with Saquon Barkley, how much these running backs and wide
Lock
receivers
in
in the
TJ.
first 2 rounds are overperforming or underperforming their draft price. You can see at the very top here, Christian McCaffrey in 2025, the best early round pick of this era. And then you also have McCaffrey in 2024, the worst. The 5 worst busts, price adjusted, were the running backs. You can see this black dotted line where everything's about even. Wide receivers really crowd that line. So what I'm trying to show you is that running backs have the highest upside, but they also have massive bust potential where they can just completely derail your season. This is something we've harped on for a long time, and it still holds true. The idea that you don't want to draft an early round RB without legendary upside. This is an article all the way back in 2021, and it still holds true. This is from somebody that won millions of dollars playing fantasy football. When we draft a running back early, he has to have upside. So now we know we want to be drafting running backs early, and when we draft them, we want them to have maximum upside. Well, what about the rest of the landscape? Well, we're going to use the expected wins above replacement line to make some conclusions about the landscape. Here, just as a simple show and tell of how this works, we have the best 5 price-adjusted running back seasons from 2025. You have Bijan, you have Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, and then Travis Etienne. And it's very important to look at Etienne because his wins above replacement is not all that different from Saquon. Saquon was about 1 wins above replacement. Travis Etienne about 1 and some change. But because Travis Etienne was a 9th round pick and Saquon was the 103, Etienne was a huge win. Saquon was somebody that sunk your ship. And then you can see the other worst picks at running back across the board. Kamara cost you minus 0.8, Hubbard minus 0.8, Pacheco minus 0.9, and then Caleb Johnson was the worst pick on the board. And now, because of wins above replacement, we can judge players across positions, adjust it for price, and now we can get definitions for league winners and busts. Because again, we are in pursuit of finding the league winners and sidestepping the busts. If you exceed your wins above replacement expectation by 1 or more, you are a league winner. If you underperformed your wins above replacement expectation by 0.7 or more in the first 9 rounds, because once you get to round 10 plus, like none of these guys are going to sink your draft per se, that is going to be a bust. And I think that makes sense across every position. You can see here.
I already have 2 rookies though.
Busts about 66
I was gonna log in.
Since 2021, both of these numbers coming to about even is solid. Which now
I was gonna type in Jacoby Lane, but
the winner rate and the bust rate for running running backs and wide receivers.
I got
in
Boston
rounds
and
2,
Tyson,
rounds
so
3 and 4, and rounds 5 and 6, and rounds 7 and 9.
I'll
and
just
rounds
chill with that.
And here are my takeaways. We already talked about the early round running back dilemma. We want to be shooting for maximum upside. Of course, wide receivers have similar bust rates, only 19% down from 22%, but we saw the huge busts, like even further than just minus 0.7, are going to the running backs. But then we have round 3.
Pause. I'm not paying attention. Pat Fryermuth. Saki. Ingram. Njoku. Why is Kolar above Njoku? I haven't drafted Njoku in a minute, so. There he goes.
Three and 4. And to be honest, I was expecting this to be a little bit different, but it's just kind of a wasteland in this area. You are pretty much matching each other's league winner rates, and then running backs are busting at a higher rate, but we're talking only 3% more. To me, where things get interesting is round 5 and 6. And this is where we get into the popular topic of the running back dead zone. And I think the RB dead zone is back in full force in 2026, and here's why. Yes, running back league winners are found in the dead zone 12% of the time. That is huge, but they also have a downside of a 12% bust risk, whereas with wide receivers, you're almost matching them there with an 11% league winner rate, but only a 5% bust risk. Very few of these round 5 and 6 wide receivers are hurting your team, and they're offering similar level of upside. So I want to be drafting wide receivers in this range. That is very rare that they have a high floor, but also a similar ceiling to the running backs. And then also why I would call round 5 and 6 the dead zone is because once you get to round 7 through 9, you have the same league winner rate at running back, and it's completely dwarfing the wide receivers. The wide receivers dry up by round 7 on pretty much, or at least the league winners at wide receiver dry up. So you might as well get your wide receivers in that round 5 and 6 area, and then round 7 on, you can load up on your running backs. Even round 10 plus, you can find league winners there at almost double the rate of the wide receivers. And this is a growing trend. We have here from Ryan Heath showing the running back ADP since 2017. And we have 25 running backs going inside the top 60 picks right now. That is the most since 2022. Almost a 5-year high. We are completely reverting back to where we were and creating the RB dead zone again. And the projections agree.
Lock that out. Put this over here for a minute. Okay. Then we're going to finish off with a best ball mania. But let me take a whiz right quick. Be right back. Let's get in a best ball mania. Let's try and win $2 million, man. Wait for that to fill up. We'll get a water right quick, y'all boys. Be right back. Be right back. See. Man. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I forgot to change my little corner graphic when I was drafting eliminators. Oh well.
With this as well. We're going to change gears here, and instead of looking at the past 5 years of data, we're going to look at projections for 2026. I took the average of Mike Clay, Rich Rebar, and Dwayne McFarland over at ESPN, Fantasy Life, and Sharp Football Analysis. I found their point per game PPR projections across the entire NFL, and then we took the consensus PPR ADP of Sleeper, ESPN, and Yahoo to find where running backs and wide receivers are getting drafted in your home league and how much you can expect them to score on a weekly basis. At the top here, through the first 50 picks, running back takes the lead early, and then you get kind of a even playing field between running back and wide receiver all the way until pick 50. And then to me, this yellow square here is where the dead zone happens. And in this yellow square in rounds 5 through 6 is where wide receivers start to actually outscore the running backs in receiver strategy here. And what I like to lead with for wide receiver strategy is we want to win the flex. This is an old RotoViz concept. This is a old article from, I want to say 2014, from Sean Siegel, saying you have to dominate the flex. When reading about the flex, you usually hear it referred to in the context of, oh, he's a low-end RB2 or flex. We just saw that with the Bucky Irving screenshot, right? I'll actually bring it up here. That's not true. You don't want these low-end RB2s in your flex spot. You look at Bucky Irving, you look at Trevion Henderson, unless if you are betting big on these guys to outperform your expectation, you just want a wide receiver in your flex spot instead. And the last line really hits home. Whatever strategy fits your particular league format, that strategy should be based on putting an elite player in the flex position, and that's what taking a wide receiver in rounds 5 through 6 does for your team. Which then brings us to
one-on-one.
to
Let's go.
the left of me. You can see here the flex zone runs from the RB dead zone to the wide receiver cliff. You want to draft enough wide receivers to fill your flex plus 1 or 2 before the wide receiver cliff. Now, the reason I say this is because
Well, you could also put.
to fill our flex spot, and then of course taking detours away from wide receiver to, take a shot on a running back league winner, take a shot on a quarterback, take a shot on a tight end, when we want to make sure that our flex is ready to go in this range. Now, when I say wide receiver through your flex plus 1 or 2, I mean if you are in a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex league, that is 2 wide receivers in the flex plus 1 or 2, so 5 to 6 wide receivers before the wide receiver cliff. And I might say, what is the wide receiver cliff? You can see here at about wide receiver 50 or so, that's Casey Concepcion on that brown dot. The wide receivers go off a cliff. These guys are no longer even giving you any replacement level production in your flex spot. We saw earlier when we were talking about finding these players, they're all gone.
Jameer Gibbs. Still not practicing. Get on the field, man.
After the wide receiver cliff, I'm drafting handcuffs, I'm drafting late round quarterbacks, late round tight ends, all of that, filling out the rest of my team. Now, you've heard me say in the past, wide receivers through the flex plus 1 or 2. The reason for that is that we get wide receivers through the flex, and then 1 for the bye week, 1 for injuries. But if you draft like straight wide receivers, you don't need to have the plus 2.
Chess
Plus
King.
1. Based on how early you draft your receivers is how many you should have between that plus 1 or the plus 2. Now, I've said this forever, but we have actually now implemented a tool in the draft guide. Make sure you check out the draft guide, thebasementdraftguide.com. You can get it here. You get my tier top 200 rankings. You get my PPR, Superflex rankings. And something that I have implemented here, this is something that I'm going to be using in all of my drafts that I stream every single night. By the way, we stream drafts on this site, or on this channel, every single night, is this flex check tool. You can see here I was using it, messing around with it. Let's say you draft Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, and Emeka Egbuka. You are roughly through 4 or so rounds. And the flex check tool actually tracks 2 things. One, it knows we have wide receivers through 1 flex spot, so we have 3 of our 5 to 6 goal here for a 2 wide receiver flex league. And then it also tracks how many more wide receivers until the cliff, right? So wide receiver 50, it is a countdown from there. At this point in the draft, I know that there's 24 more wide receivers
Alright,
before
man.
I need to get to a minimum in the
I don't know, dude.
The mock draft. You can sync up your sleeper league to it. All right, and here's where we ended up with the half PPR mock. We go Jonathan Taylor out the gate, Kenneth Walker. Again, this is 2 wide receivers, only 1 flex here.
Yeah, I
We
do.
go Neighbors is kind of a falling value. I told you guys round 3 and 4 close to level, and this is somebody we're all over. Comes back around, we take Swift. This is half PPR, so we put Swift in the flex spot. We take Christian Watson as our wide receiver 2. Marvin Harrison.
Oh, JT Walker, my neighbors, Loveland, Swift, Watson, Harrison, Addison, Walton. Not bad. Collins. Wait, what? Is this a 3rd round reversal or something? Yeah, I think so. I don't know what's going on in this video. All right. The total 48K. All right. We are coming up here. Combos, Gibbs. Should we get unique here? I mean, GP is the man. We're gonna go GP. And then, yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. I've probably done this start a bunch though. Oh, I haven't. Let's go. Very nice. Gibbs, Love, and George Pickens. Got the Lions, got the Cowboys, and we got the Cardinals. My bad. Could have went T, though. Where did my thing go? Oh, wow, look at that. 0.3 as well, not bad. 0%, that means I haven't done it yet. That's cool. Nice. 2483, 3384. I mean 3334, 3483. The tool is letting us know. Pretty chalky though. I'm surprised it's a 0.3. Guess people really mix it up here. Neighbors. Oh, man. Big Boca, G. Will, T. Higgins, Jefferson, Chase Brown, Garrett Wilson. I like that start actually a lot. Hampton, London, McConkey, Waddle. I know people are in on Waddle, but oh, JPW. I think he. I don't know. People are heavy on Waddle, but I don't know. You know, I'm a Dolphins fan. I've watched him. He's an electric player, but damn, rookie year, he went crazy. Loveland goes, that sucks. Can we get the boy to fall, though? Probably not. Okay. Oh, this guy's on running back, though. He's going to take him. Dang. It's not who I wanted. Come on. Damn, you already have a giant, bro. Alright, Montgomery. And let's go Adams or Moore. Going DJ Moore. Yes, sir. I like that. Damn, Scatabo was close. It's all good. Yeah. Damn. Tootin, not really a Tootin guy. I know people are heavy on him. Maybe I should. I don't know. I'd rather have Montgomery. I'm not going to lie. P-Wash could have been an interesting scoop there. 16% owned. Okay, okay. Three, 5, 7, 3. Okay, let's see who falls back to us, boys. Isn't worth the second round. Uniqueness, 0.4. Okay. Rasheed Rice, I don't see myself clicking Rasheed Rice either that much. And I loved Rasheed Rice last year. Off the suspension. I don't know. Third round Rasheed. P-Wash. Hella QBs pulling up. Hella QBs. Oh shit, I didn't even realize Lamar at 67? Dude, what the F, man? He's got a Zay Flowers stack with Lamar. I mean, look at this. That's a crazy stack. With Lamar at this price. That's nuts. Caleb? Damn, this spot sucks. All right, Caleb, it is. Nothing, bro. Yeah. Should be unique-ish. Definitely locked in at 2. 7 running backs. What? Sometimes 9, okay. 3. Oh shit. Don't do that, don't do that. Okay. I mean, just taking Caleb and Prescott pretty much in the same round as Lamar Jackson and Drake May doesn't sit right with me. So maybe I should have did something else. Right? I don't know. Caleb, I mean, who? I don't even have anybody to stack with Caleb. Who is there? Let me see the Bears, bro. Oh, Monungai? Yeah, I could be on the lookout for him. Cole Kmet, how about no? We'll be on the lookout for Kyle Monungai. Then again, I'm looking at all these guys like Metcalf, Lemon. I like QJ. I like Pierce. Jaden Reed is cool. Couldn't find Michael Wilson. Ramadre, I don't know. Harvey, yeah, it's just like, you know, let me just lock in Caleb and Dak. Fuck it. You know? Damn, Monungai goes. That is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like Dart is here. It's like, fuck. Let's go. Damn. Laporta goes. Okay. Definitely going to lock in Addison. Do I want Fannin or Godwin? Fannin or Godwin? Harold Fannin it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tight end 7. He'll totally beat out Laporta and Kraft. Warren, I don't know. Top 5. I could see him beat Warren. Loveland, McBride, Bowers, though. I could see it. Not beating them, but, you know, staying neck and neck with those guys. Yeah. 101 is actually a tough spot. These turn picks are always like, you know. should have took Dak and like QJ though, instead of Caleb. This guy takes Monungai. Dang. I don't even have Swift. Where did Swift go? Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I just want to make sure I understand this. You go to the website, and then you're entered to win one of these 3 cars for free.
See, Jared Goff falls to us here. It's like,
Souped up trucks are
oh no, he didn't fall. Kyler Murray's here.
buying gear that you love, like the
You know.
flagship Ridge wallet, trusted by over 5 million customers with
You know.
thousands of 5-star reviews.
You know.
For free at ridge.com.
I see 2 guys I want. Please, let's go. Diggs,
If you're
Coker.
all getting together,
Scoop.
stay in hotel rooms and not
Scoop
eat
that.
together.
We're back, baby.
Get an Airbnb.
Training camps are
We're
5
back,
left and right.
man. Wide receiver core looking good again.
Every single day. What better person to have on the channel, on the pod, than Greg Brandos, aka at Coach Speak Index on Twitter.
Marvin Harrison.
First one here, we'll go basically by team. Looking at the Arizona Cardinals, Marvin Harrison and Michael Wilson have been 2 players that fantasy managers have kind of struggled to pick through. Harrison's going in that kind of middle of the 6th round, Wilson going in the 7th, maybe early 8th round in most formats. Earlier this offseason, we heard the kind of the news buzzworthy line from LaFleur calling Michael Wilson the new Puka Nacua in his offense, and he called Marvin Harrison kind of like that traditional X wide receiver for Marvin Harrison there, comparing him to Devontae Adams within the roles of the offense, of course, not comparing them as a player, it's just how they're going to line up in this offense. Greg, what else have you heard in terms of the press conferences?
Are any like Bears I could take?
Cardinals? What has LaFleur said? What should we expect in terms of the roles for both these receivers in this new offense?
Well, fantasy players are
Komet.
not the only ones who are having trouble figuring this out.
Xavion
Because on
Thomas,
July
Khalif
26th,
Raymond
They asked Mike LaFleur whether he sees either of Marvin Harrison Jr.
could
or
handle
Michael Wilson
gadget
as the
role.
wide receiver 1. He deflected that question. We're seeing a lot of this in Arizona when it comes to depth chart stuff.
6K. Oh yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Second, LaFleur said that Marvin Harrison Jr.
I mean,
is our
maybe
next
a
receiver, but
Salvin
around,
Ahmed?
where sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. That is a big difference from
that
what
the
we
guy that was on the
saw
Dolphins?
the last couple seasons with Drew Petzing.
Cole
who, kept him as a
Kmet?
pretty static X receiver. And then on Michael Wilson on July 29th, Mike LaFleur said he's tough as nails. He's super competitive. He happens to be a really good receiver. It's been a pleasure getting to work with him. There are some similarities between a guy like Puka Nacua, Robert Woods, and Michael Wilson. They're strong guys. They're sturdy. They can play in between the tackles and insert and get on safeties, and they like mucking it up in there. But they're different too. He knows where his similarities are. He's been a pleasure to work with, and he just continues to go like this, ascending gesture from LaFleur. So The
I don't think I
really
want
stuff is
Khalif
more about,
Raymond, bro.
Yeah, this guy, and he has mentioned that we don't want to put Marvin Harrison Jr. kind of close to the core. We don't want him inserting on safeties. That is a role for Michael Wilson. But we do want to move Marvin Harrison Jr. Around. So it's going to be both of these guys. Kendrick Bourne is kind of a distant third.
He has value
Talked about
alone,
him being closer to the middle in that slot role, and all the drops and stuff are getting attention. Obviously, LaFleur talked about that and said, "Hey, yeah, you guys saw this drop. This stuff is going viral. We don't really care about that. All that matters is what happens on the next play." And he made a catch on the next play, and most of you guys did not tweet that out.
Yeah, Harrison, I think, is just going to continue to be memed for drops, Greg, because he had some.
All right,
high
coming up
profile drops
here.
last year. I remember he had a drop wide open in the middle of the field that would have been like.
So only have
7-yard
3
touchdown.
backs.
The thing is, yeah, I think you're touching on maybe the most important thing with this offense is just how
Yikes.
much more often these players are going to be in motion. Obviously, Matt LaFleur is closely connected to his brother, Mike LaFleur. Mike LaFleur is very closely connected to Matt LaFleur, and Matt LaFleur, the Packers LaFleur. He's one of the most genius coaches that.
Are
uses
you
motion,
fucking
uses
kidding
players
me?
in motion to kind of generate leverage. Last
Oh,
season,
Lord.
according to our fantasy points data suite, Marvin Harrison averaged 1.8 yards per route run when he was in motion or when there was any motion on the play. Michael Harrison.
I'll take Flournoy.
I think that just speaks to the quality of the offense. Both of those were kind of like either
And
average or
then,
slightly below average.
yikes,
Harrison's,
bro,
Slight
yikes.
efficiency boost when he's in motion is bullish. I agree with you that he still kind of profiles as that X receiver, but I think both players are going to be moving around the formation quite a bit. Just in terms of just fantasy projection, the stat I keep coming back to, Greg, is like when Michael Wilson had Marvin
I have too much
Harrison
Kamara. I have to
last
stop.
year, he averaged just a 12% target share. When he was off the field, it was up to 25%. Just a huge split there. So for fantasy, it's kind of interesting to hear. There's kind of like a split opinion on these
Damn,
players
bro.
right now. But
That's
in my
tough.
opinion, I think Marvin Harrison is still very good at football. He's had, like I said, some high-profile drops. Maybe he's gotten memed way too much. Harrison only ended up playing in 9 games last season, Greg. But in those games, the role was pretty good by expected fantasy points. He was like wide receiver 13, strong high-end wide receiver 2. And I really do think he kind of missed out on the Jacoby Brissett, Jacoby Brissett volume hack at the end of last season.
Tough draft, man.
He did miss out on some big spiked weeks. So Wilson versus Harrison, Cardinals are still kind of trying to figure it out. Fantasy managers are still trying to figure it out. I am buying personally a Marvin Harrison bounce back or maybe even surge forward this season. And Michael Wilson to me is a player that certainly could have some fantasy value. But to me, yeah, I think with McBride on the field earning 25% of the targets at worst, Harrison coming back fully healthy. Greg, have they said anything about Harrison's injury history? I guess he's fully healthy going into this year.
I think there is something in there. I believe it was earlier in the offseason. Mike LaFleur, kind of commented on that, also saying that he's very excited about the ways that they can use Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think you're right, man. This ceiling for him has not been reached. It's a lot of his potential, I believe, is still intact from the Petzing era, and Mike LaFleur probably the guy to do that. If you look around the league at different play callers, like this is probably one of the ones that you would want to.
Yeah, the running theme of this show today is going to be breaking down some murky situations. This Cardinals situation is certainly very murky. I think after Trey McBride, there is kind of a wide range of opinion on how this receiver group gets split. There's also becoming a much wider range of opinion, Greg, about how this Panthers backfield gets split. Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Brooks basically being split in sharp ADP over on FFPC and NFFC leagues where a lot of money is being put down into high-stake formats. These ADPs are starting to converge. They're starting to get real tight. Chuba's going been going 75 overall most of the summer, kind of just stuck there in that middle of the 7th, late 8th round. Jonathan Brooks has been surging upwards, though, going into the 9th round in most leagues now. I got to pick your brain. What is Dave Canales and the Panthers said about this backfield? I think this is one of the more interesting situations to figure out, because if Greg, if one of these two guys gets the starting job and kind of gets, maybe not a full-blown like bell cow role where they're getting 70% of the snaps, but if it's like a 65-35 split that we can count on weekly, someone in this backfield is going to be very, very valuable. I'm curious what you've heard and what you've read from Dave Canales and the Panthers coaching staff this offseason.
It's very interesting because in previous seasons, it's been Chuba Hubbard is our guy, right?
Oh, lordy,
But then
lordy.
it's also been
Actually,
the meritocracy with
Damn.
Dave Canales and the Panthers. We saw last year when
we're gonna
that he was a better option.
handcuff our own guy this time around.
It took about a week or so late, but they finally got around to putting Rico Dowdle in as the starter. And then we get this this comment from Dave Canales on January 12th of this year.
Don't have much of this guy, so
Opportunity to compete to start for this
I want to take him.
On July 24th, Canales was asked about the position group
Damn.
he's most excited to see compete.
He's looking good in camp.
He mentioned pass rusher, safety, wide receiver.
I mean, who's the wide receiver too
He could go position group by position group.
in Atlanta? ESPN. We got Drake London. Am I missing something? We got Pitts, of course, Bijan, of course.
And what does that combination look like?
But
with
wide
Chuba
receiver
Hubbard,
wise,
Brooks, and Trevor Etienne to see what comes out of that group. And during OTAs, you're getting these quotes from, I think one from Jonathan Brooks saying
Olamide Zacchaeus,
that
Jahan
100%
Dotson.
yet, but they weren't really pushing to 100%. This is a guy who they're
Honestly,
just a
decent
little bit, given
talent,
his injury
but
history. So pretty big on July.
definitely
28th,
a path
Dave
to
Canales saying, I don't see any hesitation
wide
in
receiver
his play
2
now.
role.
Offensive coordinator Brad Idzik in a separate press conference said the same thing. Dave Canales has been raving about Jonathan Brooks in the passing game and what he brings in that phase. And on July 28th, Canales talked about this like wow play that Jonathan Brooks made in the passing game. Said he made an unbelievable catch on a go ball where he got his feet in, which just goes to show some of the other things that he can bring to our offense. So he brings a completely different
2583. I think that is accurate.
Like Hubbard is a decent
5,
pass catcher.
8,
Like he's
yeah.
okay.
Okay,
In the
lock
pass
it
game,
in.
Jonathan Brooks is something different. He excels, and they talk about his finishing.
Ah,
speed. When he gets the ball, they talk about using him on the screens. They've talked about using him downfield in the passing game. This is a guy who is, he's electric in the passing game, and he's very good as a runner as well. He's more explosive. We know that Chuba Hubbard didn't have many explosive runs last season, and you compare the profiles of these two guys, I think it's pretty clear which one is the better running back, which one brings more to the table for this offense, makes them more multiple. And again, this is a meritocracy for Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers. So whoever gives them the best chance to score points, to win games, that is going to be the running back who gets the most usage. And I think it's going to be pretty clear that if he's healthy, that is Jonathan Brooks.
Interesting. That is very telling, like you said, that he's run a meritocracy, and in the past, they've just loved Chuba Hubbard. Last year, I remember Chuba got hurt, he had the calf injury, and then Rico Dowdle was just balling out. They gave him obviously the huge role for those couple of weeks, and he balled out. Then Chuba came back, and they immediately made Hubbard the starter for that 1 week, but then they kind of realized their mistake and started playing Dowdle more and more as the season goes on. So I'm with you that Brooks certainly has a ton of upside. I remember when he got drafted, Canales was basically just basically a love fest of his pass game ability. And I think that is kind of the biggest piece of the upside angle here is that, okay, yeah, maybe Hubbard
Undisclosed injury.
dealt with the calf injury, was probably not 100% when he did come back. He's maybe not the world's most explosive runner. Jonathan Brooks, when he's fully healthy, certainly is. And Brooks has more ability on passing downs. We talk about this all the time in fantasy football. A target is worth
Fuck it.
2.5.
Get on the
more
squad,
PPR
Dulcich.
points than a single carry. So
Buffalo.
getting,
Oh, yeah,
pass down
okay.
role locked in for Brooks is going to give him a usable floor as a lower flex.
All right, boys. Make our last tight end pick. This team is,
Clearly the better
I don't know.
than Chuba. There's certainly some bell cow upside here.
Do like the trio of running backs here. I like our
Definitely just perked up on these
tail end of the group.
Another player that Scott's ears
I like our two quarterbacks.
Luther Burden, man, his
Pickens,
height,
DJ Moore,
rocket ship has
Addison,
left the
Diggs,
station.
Coker,
It's just
Flournoy,
gone
Zachariah
into a
Branch,
mood with Burden.
Tank Dell. Got Harold
Johnson has
Fannin,
been
Greg
profuse in
Dulcich.
his praise this
And we're gonna
offseason.
tack on a
We'll speak
third.
to that, but Burden has
Wide
been
receiver room.
really started to come up in price. He was consistently going near that 3-4 turn all offseason. Greg, I think he starts kind of creeping into the third round and just sharper.
I could see.
In his leagues, especially
I
in
could
the
see.
context that Rome Odunze has been dealing with this foot injury, and he may not be like completely 100% himself. Ben Johnson.
Hopefully we got our RBs carrying
What
us.
exactly has he said about Burden, and is this justified? Is
Dak
the
to
hype
Pickens a
rocket
lot.
ship
DJ Moore explodes.
is it too crazy, or is this
Diggs,
some
put up
sharp
1,000
action?
yards.
I think the moon is just a pit stop. On
Addison.
the way to Neptune.
Interesting.
Striving with
Interesting.
Kyler,
Okay.
Coker,
That's a quote from me. That's
Coming
not Ben
through.
Johnson. This is Ben Johnson.
Flournoy giving us some spikes.
I'm
Zachariah
buying
Branch.
stock right now.
Wide receiver 2 on Atlanta could be nice. Tank Dell just coming back and giving us some points. Fannin having a full breakout. Dulcich coming back healthy. I could see it, boys. I could see it. Caleb having an MVP season.
The easy things to do are screens or short throws, but I think there's a lot more to his game that we've worked to unlock. Ben Johnson has also talked about how Luther Burden is. It looks like
Rarely.
he's playing at a different speed right now. We did see some of the downfield stuff last year with Luther Burden, and obviously we saw
I can't believe this guy's contract.
how good he is with the ball in his hands.
Oh,
And
3 year,
this
24 million. I mean,
offseason,
3 year,
it's been
24 million
phenomenal.
though.
Luther Burden and Colston
Like,
Loveland
what?
are going to be huge parts of this offense. They are going
Like
to be
Njoku
focal
as well.
points of this offense. They've talked about how much time both of those guys
Njoku
have spent at the facilities.
or
a lot about how
Michael Mayer.
has
Michael Mayer, week
put on some
17
muscle,
stack.
bulked up a little bit in order to break these tackles at an even better rate and just make himself much harder to tackle. Ryan Poles, the general manager, and the offensive coordinator Press Taylor also spoke recently about how
No.
every day this offseason, Luther Burden was calling and texting quarterbacks to just, hey, I need an arm out here. I need an arm. Whoever come out here. And this guy's been working so hard, which is big
All right, boys.
because
That's all
the
she
work
wrote
ethic
for
was
this
one of the
live
concerns
stream. Hope y'all
for him coming out
appreciate it.
as
I
a
mean,
prospect. That is
hope y'all
why
enjoyed.
he's
Appreciate